Hey, we're starting at 8:30 exactly on the dot. Mew mew.
Oh, I didn't turn on the I didn't turn on the stream deck. Yeah,
Okay,
whatever.
fine. Then we'll do it. We'll do it analog. Mew 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 mew.
Yeah, I removed the segment here, so now that it has us instead of the my usual thing.
Yeah.
And then just put this thing in the screen itself. We'll see how that works out. If it's a little too busy, I'll take it out.
We'll give it a try. We'll give it a shot.
I might just make it invisible this time around.
Meow 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 meow.
I'm gonna make the jar invisible right now. Boom.
Invisible.
Invisible. Let's see here. Make sure everything is hunky dory. I
thought Grace was already married.
Grace?
Hmm.
No.
No?
No, she was never. She's recently gotten engaged.
Oh, well, I'll be damned.
Mm-hmm.
Damn! Girl! Got that remake airs done already. Jesus Christ.
People have all the time and all the skills, friends.
Just time. Well, actually, yeah, and skills, but time. Jesus.
I don't know why this always happens on my Twitter
What?
app, but the dark mode always switches on and off, and I'm like, what the fuck?
I don't know.
Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Alright, where's my tweets? Well, my tweets just came here from Bob Ross.
Yeah.
Thank you for taking your time out of your Bob Ross time. You're taking time out of your Bob Ross time to be here with us today. Links, nice to see you in the chat as always. Let me know if the chat box is a little too small. I always think it's small because I see it in a window that's like 1/4 the size of what it's supposed to look like, so.
Well, I mean, I'm also looking at it from my phone, which is, like, even smaller, so.
Yeah. I made Steven Universe look like a hype beast and a roadman. What's a hype? What? What you talking about, Willis?
I would have to understand Steven Universe first. I know there are gems. That's a thing.
And really good music that has been like a bazillion cool covers.
I know there are gems and there are fusions.
Jams and jellies? You said jams. I'm like, what?
But I've never actually
exotic butters
seen more than, I think, the first 2 episodes of Steven Universe for myself. I
suffer from a very acute, I don't follow the hype train syndrome because it's just, it just ruins things for me. Nike shoes, Adidas pants, puffy coat, Nike. Alright, cool. Cool. We'll get to it in a minute. I'm just doing my social media thing.
1 babe, 2 babes, 3 babes, 4. Hello, Wayward. Welcome in tonight. Are you excited for Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy? And I gotta get that Rolex on
his wrist, like glazed in ice.
Yes.
Those little like diamond grills. Yeah, look at you all at the bottom here. Wayward is the judge. I said I was gonna build them out to be a little bit better, and I have to do that for Joyce too, because I can make her a bunch of
Kingdom Hearts
sprites as long as
considering I'll be playing that for the next 6 months.
And you'll be able to fight each other inside as well, because I'm pretty sure they all have fight animations. So
they do. Great. Well, Sora does.
Yeah.
Some of them have like hitboxes.
Look good with the fresh craps.
I mean, if you're up to the programming challenge of
it's not
doing all that.
Oh.
Wow, hello, new sub.
Oh, gift sub, thanks.
Gift sub, oh yeah.
Thank you so much, as usual. Wayward being the
Was that the wrong?
philanthropist. It is the wrong one. Just give me a hot second here. The philanthropist.
What goes around comes around, Wayward. I love Lancer's reaction last night when you gifted him a sub. He's like, "Why do you do this?
Who are you? What do you want from me?" It's usually my
kindness all around. And Lancer's like, "Why do you do this?"
Manage themes. I'll switch the themes, and then I will redo the business. Yeah. Ooh. Jazz for Life is a god tier name. Create widget theme.
It's just really slow, isn't it?
Yeah, it's super slow. It's because there's a lot of them now. Everyone's downloaded a whole bunch of widget themes, so it has to like collect all of them from the cloud.
Oh, couldn't we remove some of the stuff that we don't use?
We could, but I don't know which one. That's my problem. So if I remove them, they might not come back. Where's my Ace Attorney one? Ace Attorney!
What is going on out there?
I'm sorry, I can't see what's going on. I'll look in a minute. Where's my Ace Attorney?
It's on the bottom. Yeah, down, up,
there it
down.
Is. Boop.
Yes.
Use.
Is it active now?
It's taking time to lock in. Usually it locks in automatically as you load whatever you're playing, right? So I'll also do Ace Attorney here and see if that works. So this is just like default widget.
Oof.
I know, it takes so long for it to set for some reasons, and it's driving me nuts.
Well, note to self, that's another thing to check before pressing start.
Yeah, cool. Save settings. Should I be doing Ben 10 or the Peppa the Pig next? Peppa the Pig.
That's 6 more gifted subs for you.
Thank
Jesus
you
Christ!
So much for your love and support.
Good.
Especially.
God.
Oh my God, there's a lot of people in here. What the hell happened?
Good God.
Oh, cool. Hello. Okay. Before we do this, yeah, and just in time too for all of you who are subbed now, you can get special raid
emotes.
Yeah, special raid emotes, and you will get a special and hopefully you'll get a special what's it called?
Where's there?
Sub badge.
Meow, 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 meow. And then meow. Meow, 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 meow. Yeah, that one. Yeah.
There you go. Oh, 1 second. So let's see here. Yeah. So thank you so much. So let's see here.
You're gonna lurk and work on Peppa.
Monkey
nice.
D Eric gets 1 month, and I think Links as well. Was there anything else I got? Subscriber tier. 5 days ago. Yeah, there we go. So boom. There you go. Subscriber tier. Then boop boop. And then, hi, Undead. Welcome to the stream, my friend.
That was from yesterday.
Yeah, I need to change up the sprites to be varied, so it's not the same one over and over again. It'll be different ones. But anyway, thank you. Yeah. So for all of you who now have subs, we're now kind of going into finalizing what those sub badges will look like. So right now, it looks like Cats and Hats are gonna be in the lead for about like 3 or 4 votes. And then the second one is insignias and sigils, and then shield crests are third. So remember to let us know what you want. And without further ado, let's do the opening. Hello, my name's Rashi.
I'm Joyce.
And this is the Daring Player Squad channel. If you don't know what the channel's about, it's 5 gamers who play games together, or every day. Right there. So today is my day, and I've added this little special thing here to indicate whose day it is.
Yeah.
Joyce is not in this one.
Not officially.
Because technically Joyce is actually never part of these streams officially. She's just here.
I just kind of crash them every single day. She
crashes them every single time. She's just like, you do bad boy stubs, right? Like, yeah, I want to be in it. All right.
Yeah. I have no actual obligation to be here.
Yeah, no, she just wants to do bad boy stubs. As does seem everybody else does now.
I just want to be part of the fun.
Yeah, she also wants to do the fun part of it. She'll like roll around, waste my time by sitting on the couch, rolled up in a blanket burrito. I'm like, sweetheart, I gotta stream soon. Like, Like, I need to stream. I'm like, all right. All right, whatever. So yeah. So welcome to Giant Player Squad channel. Remember to like us whenever you can. Also subs. Subs is love.
Onwards. And
then now let's get on with the final part of episode 5, which has gone like for like 4 extra weeks. Because like I was like, oh, this is a pretty good one. It's like a standard episode. Like, no, it is one of the longest episodes.
It ain't standard at all.
Yeah. So let's see here. 1906, 23. That's yeah.
Yeah, it's been about a month. Yeah, we got another stub.
Yes, Wayward has been giving out them gift
just
subs.
like, just gifting them out.
This is the defendant lobby, all right, but there's no defendant. I've been trying to reach Lana all morning. Where could she be? And where's Emma, for that matter? It almost seems as if
something's been happening.
Oh, something is happening behind the scenes. Edgeworth, knowing you already figured it out.
Uh-oh.
Huh? What's up?
Desktop audio. There's no game music.
There's no game music? What? One second. Properties. No. There we go. Okay, it's tied into the, There we go. Okay, awesome. Boom. Thank you. Back at it again with the white bands. But yeah, so those of you who have subbed now, you now have sway in what kind of badge you'd like to have.
There we go.
So, yes, let's do that.
Hello, fellow short old men.
Where's Rashi? I'm right here.
Here's
Hello.
Rashi. This is Rashi.
Me with a
Here
face.
we go. We found Rashi.
Doing face stuff.
Finally. Frankie, come over to what's that thing called? Twitch. And then you can partake in those little icons moving around at the bottom of the screen.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And that's the avatar stream avatar that I was telling you about.
Yeah, so there you are. So you can choose. Right now it's open to everybody. Like usually we tier them according to how long you watch on Twitch. Usually on Twitch, you get like a certain amount of like loyalty points for however long you watch, and then you get more loyalty points if you sub, if you like, if you subscribe. If you subscribe, if you like, if you share, you follow, all that stuff. But I haven't set that up yet. It's all free for now.
Look at this tail.
Look at my fluffy tail, Frederick. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Let's see here. Which is also why it took me a long time to determine undead. What's a humankind? Humankind. Well, I have a pretty strong hunch. Ooh. Looks like I'm not the only one who's figured it out. You know, the only reason this trial didn't reach a verdict yesterday is because there's still room for doubt regarding this ID record. If the number doesn't belong to whom you suspect, then no doubt will remain. After all, he hasn't been officially charged with anything. True, not yet. In any event, once all doubt has been removed from that list, I can call for a ruling. 5 minutes, right? 5 minutes, right? And Chief Prosecutor Skye will be found guilty. But she didn't do it! I figured you'd say as much. That's why I came here, to hear what you have to say. This is the first time he's ever done something like this. Hana's hiding something, and the only way we'll ever know the truth is to draw it out of her. The truth. Everything goes back to the SL9 incident. Don't be stupid. Today's the last day of the trial. We don't have time to reminisce about the past. That depends on you. If she's found guilty, you lose... Zebro has subbed. Ah, thank you. Thank you for this extraditional subrage. Sub-zero-age. Oh my god, so many subscriptions. Oh my god. Wayward, where did you get all these subscriptions from?
I know you just had your contract extended, but Jesus, woman.
Yeah.
How do you control one? There's a little, I think it's an SA badge? Yeah. Stream avatars badge, like right underneath the window.
Yeah.
If you're on mobile, it should be right under the window. If you're on desktop, again, just scroll down a little bit. It'll be stream avatars.
Yeah.
And
then you can click it. It can also pop out, so you can have it floating there while you're like looking, and you can jump. So to jump, they'll jump, but there won't be like a jump animation. It'll just go up and down, and those little points and stuff will give you a little extra loyalty points. So it's something that you can have fun with. With Joyce later, I hope I can put in fight commands, so you'll be able to fight, hit. I think you can still do it. There's just no animations, but you can like push people around inside the actual stream, inside the stream avatars themselves. So that's a lot of the fun stuff that I saw about stream avatars that I really appreciate in a game, especially when there's a lot of you today or like tomorrow or whenever. It's just fun to like, yeah. And thank you for the spoilage. I really appreciate it.
Jump, Edwards, jump!
Jump, Edwards, jump, Edwards, jump. The chat has words. Yeah, if you do exclamation jump, the extension should do it. But yeah, just double check with the extension link that pops up every once in a while.
Come on, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
You can poot and you can kick and fight and dance. I haven't had a time to update them to have specific animations to those. So, how do I move? The movement is random. No, there's a move.
Yeah,
There's a little like controller inside the app, like the Twitch app, that you can go left and right with. If you open up the extension inside the panel on the bottom left inside Twitch, it should pop up to have the same type of functionality. So you can move left, move right. You can jump by pressing up and going down. But yeah. But yes, thank you so much. It's been a little while since we've had so many people.
Ash is putting on her glasses now. The trees have leaves. She's freaking out. Or the chat has words. Good God, she can read.
Okay, let's move on here. We got a lot. I think we have a lot to go through.
We got a long court case to go.
Yeah.
Let's get going. If she's found guilty.
If she's found guilty, you'll lose your only chance to find out what really happened. I'll think about it. See you in court, right? I'll see you in court, right? Court, right? This is it. If I'm ever gonna find out what Chief Gant has on her, it's now. Rabble, 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 people. Court is now in session for the trial of Ms. Lana Skye. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Normally this is when the prosecution puts forth its opening statement. But before that, the police chief has a proposal to make. Chief Gant. Oh, here he is. Touchy McFeely Priest Gant. Good morning, folks. How's everyone doing? Hey, Ajib, been back to the pool yet? Oh, God. No, I've been drowning enough. I've been drowning enough as it is in my work. Oh, that's a good one. Don't think I could top that. If you don't mind me asking, Chief, what exactly is this proposal of yours? Lana, that is to say the defendant, has asked me if she could speak directly to the court. She wants to do what? Having heard what she intends to say, I feel she should be granted her request. In the end, it should save everyone a lot of time and trouble. Ooh, he's ahead of the game on this. She's being forced to testify. What's this all about? What is this all about, defendant?
I'd just like to make one simple request, and I'll be finished.
Well then, what's your request?
Your Honor, I'd like you to put an immediate end to this trial.
Huh?
I confess to all charges against me. On February 21st of this year, I murdered Detective Bruce Goodman in the underground parking lot of the prosecutor's office.
No, Lana! Oh, shoot, her sister's in here. You can't! Your Honor, the defendant's claim does not change the defense's plea.
In that case, Mr. Wright, I no longer require your services.
Is it delayed? Oh, the delay is because there's a weird delay between the stream output and the actual entering. It's like just about the same as if you were to like type in like a message and stuff. There's nothing I can do about it, unfortunately. That's just the way Twitch is.
Yeah.
They can't really afford us a lot of bandwidth in terms of 1-to-1 ratio. Like we have everything turned on so that it can happen. Like, but it's just depending on where we are, which is in West Coast Canada, and where you are, which might be like across the ocean or something. That's just the way it is. So all you gotta do is just spam jump when you see those things happen, right?
And hope to God.
And hope to God, yeah. Your voice is good, Lana, and right. Yeah. That's why it's good to have Joyce here. Otherwise, I'd make terrible girl names. Girl voices. I no longer require your services. Just like, dumb stuff. Florida. Yeah, you're on the other side of North America.
And on the other end.
The delay is nothing we can really control.
It's normal internet shit.
Yeah, just internet crap altogether. But Lana...
Your Honor, I hereby forfeit my right to an attorney. The prosecution may lack direct evidence against me, but as it has sufficiently proven its case through testimony and circumstantial evidence. I would like you to render your verdict now, if you please.
Well, the defendant certainly has a right to self-representation. Her request is legally valid, although this is an unprecedented situation. Indeed, it appears there's no further need to continue this trial, even if Mr. Wright feels otherwise. This can't be happening. It appears the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant. What the? One moment, Your Honor. The prosecution's like, no, that's not what we want right now. Mr. Edgeworth, the prosecution has not yet proven the defendant guilty beyond reasonable doubt. Any ruling at this stage would certainly be premature. Come now, Worthy. I understand this is a difficult time for you, but why don't you just be a good little boy and keep your mouth shut? Ooh,
Why don't you shut your
That's
mouth?
like a fucking threat. That sounds like a fucking threat.
Why don't you shut your mouth and die already?
I don't think I care for your tone, Chief Gaunt. What? Creating another fabrication to cover up your past mistakes? Sorry, but I'm no longer a little naive boy you would have me be.
Ooh, going in for those threats.
With this sudden confession from the defendant, it's obvious to me some kind of deal was struck behind the scenes. Some kind of deal? Not everyone operates as you do, Worthy. I thought so. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to change its first witness. Oh, to who? As its first witness, the prosecution would like to call Miss Emma Skye. I request the court hears her testimony.
Mr. Edgeworth, I'm exercising my right to self-representation. I don't think we need to don't need to continue.
I don't care what you think, Miss Skye. The exposure of truth sometimes results in tragedy. However, no matter how tragic the truth may be, it would be an even greater tragedy to avert one's eyes from it. I think you'll have enough coin. Usually when you follow the stream itself as a follower, you get like 100 coin. And everything is set to like 0 to 1, so you should be fine. Very well, the court shall grant the prosecution's request. That's okay with you, right, Chief Gant? Worthy. You'll live to regret this. Mark my words. Miss Emma Skye, please take the stand. Looks like Edgeworth has decided to take the horse by the reins. I don't know why I'm still up, but I'm going to watch a little. I agreed to 8 to 11 p.m. Hey, welcome, Tony.
Hey,
hello,
welcome, Tony.
Hello. Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation.
My name is Emma Skye. My occupation? I'm Lana's little sister, and I want to be a scientific investigator.
Coins, loyalty points, they're all earned by simply just watching the stream. So
The longer you're here, the more coin you get.
yeah, but there shouldn't be any coin costs for any of the characters I have here, I think. So you should be able to switch to whomever you like. If there is, let me know and I'll fix it sometime else. But yeah, just let me know. Yeah, you should be able to switch to any character that I have in there right now, which isn't a lot. It's like Edgeworth, Phoenix, was it not Doctor? Fucking what's his name? Detective Gumshoe. A couple of like randos. Yeah. Casu Elf, hello. I see you people in the stream. For those of you who are in the stream and new, say hello. There's a lot of people today. Have a conversation. It's fun. Let me know if I'm making bad. Let me know if making bad judgment calls. Here you go. 2 years ago, you encountered a serial killer. Oh fuck! It's so hard to pronounce those words.
Serial killer.
Because they don't pronounce R's in the accent that I'm doing. So you encountered the serial killer.
You still do.
Killer. Yeah. If it's in the middle.
Yeah.
Like Joe Dark. Like dark?
Dark.
You don't say dark, you say dark. Of the Joe Dark killings. This is correct?
Yes. I'm trying my hardest to forget about that, though.
I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to recall those events one more time. Mr. Edgeworth, please remember this trial concerns the murder of Detective Goodman. Is an incident that was resolved 2 years ago really all that relevant? Yes, most certainly is. Well, okay then. He sure came in fast. Now, please testify about what happened to you 2 years ago. The trip to yesteryear has finally begun. It's bound to lead to the truth behind this trial.
I was waiting in my sister's office that day. A man came running in and took me hostage. Neil Marshall rescued me, but I'll never forget what I saw in that instant. The man raised up his knife and stabbed Mr. Marshall in the chest.
It's a good thing you weren't harmed.
I passed out. I don't remember much.
That's understandable. However, please tell me, Mr. Edgeworth, what does this testimony have to do with Detective Goodman's murder? That will soon become apparent, Your Honor.
Make me do all the work.
You've got to admire him for his courage, considering he has no evidence. Very well, the defense may begin its cross-examination. So we're gonna push everything.
Yep. Waiting in my sister's office.
2 years ago, the defendant was a detective at the police department, correct?
Yes. She was second command under then Deputy Chief Police Gant. My sister, she was the best detective ever.
Yes, I remember. Deputy Chief Gant and Miss Sky used to be quite the pair. I believe they shared the same office.
That's right. I'd always sit at my sister's desk and dream about playing that organ. I wanted to play it that day, too.
The police department and the prosecutor's office held a ceremony that day.
Lana promised me to take me to dinner after she finished work.
Man came running in. A man?
Yes, Joe Dark. He was a serial killer.
Joe Dark was brought in for questioning on the day of that ceremony. We were desperate to get anything on him that would lead to an arrest. When he saw his chance, he fled the room, correct? Upon fleeing the room, Dark proceeded to take the elevator. He must have been in a panic because the elevator was going up. And then he ran into Sky and Gaunt's office.
There was a lot of noise coming from outside, so I opened up the door to have a look. That's when I saw him.
What was the prosecutor doing there? On that day, there were 2 people present during Dark's questioning. Deputy Chief Damon Gaunt and Prosecutor Neil Marshall. Almost forgot about Gant. Neil Marshall had received the King of Prosecutors Award. Young and dedicated, he went straight to the questioning room after the ceremony. I assume that would also be why he was the first to run after Dark.
When Dark grabbed me, I thought I was good as dead.
And that's when Prosecutor Marshall came running in.
I don't clearly remember what happened then. I'll never forget what I saw in that instant.
Can you tell us about that?
Mr. Marshall jumped on Dark, and then the lights went out.
The lights?
It was just about this time of year. There was a terrible storm going on, and lightning struck nearby.
So the electricity went out. Wait a minute. If it was pitch dark in that room, you shouldn't have been able to see anything, right?
Right, but then lightning flashed again outside. That sudden flash left an unforgettable image of the scene in my mind.
I see.
I told the detective about what I saw then.
The detective?
Yes, Detective Goodman. He was in charge of the case.
Detective Bruce Goodman, the victim. So you spoke with Detective Goodman about this 2 years ago?
Yes, that's what's so scary about this trial.
And you told Detective Goodman about what you saw?
Yes, but at the time, the words just couldn't come out. That's why I drew a picture.
A picture? Yes, I think she mentioned that before. Well, Mr. Wright, have you heard enough? No, let's keep pushing. Yeah. This picture the witness drew, I believe it has a very important meaning. But the list of evidence I was given 2 years ago didn't contain a picture. Witness, would you mind if we added this statement to your testimony?
Yes, Your Honor. I know, it's true. Paul, you are talking to Team Very Gay.
You're barking up the wrong tree.
I mean, you
so-
tried, certainly, but it's like, that's like a fish trying to fly right there.
I drew because once it seems to have been lost. I think that's what we're gonna press on with the picture, but
Yeah.
you drew a picture of the scene you witnessed, right?
Yes, I wanted to do everything I could to help the investigation. I can still see it now whenever I close my eyes.
That's strange. I took over the case after Prosecutor Marshall died, yet I never received any picture. Perhaps the witness is mistaken.
But I did draw it, I swear. I'm not just imagining it.
This picture that Emma drew, that reminds me. I guess I should check the evidence again. Well, anyway, let's continue. The scene that imprinted an image on your mind, can you please describe it to us?
The man...
1 second. What's going on, friend? You wanted to
Oh,
figure out?
because Paul did the words in italics.
Oh!
I don't know how to do that.
I don't know how to do it. I think it's basic script, like control, like /I or something, or underscore.
I don't know, because there's like /me
It
and
dep-
it does
I know. I can't remember what the scripting language is called, but yeah, it might be that.
XML?
Is it yeah, I think it might be XML.
Because it's not HTML, it's
No,
XML.
it's probably XML. And stabbed Mr. Marshall in the chest. That must have been a real shock. Joyce.
Okay. Even now, when I close my eyes, I can still just see it. I can see it just as clearly.
Tell us, what were you doing in that moment? I believe you testified that Joe Dark was holding you hostage.
When lightning struck and the lights went out,
Sorry.
Mr. Marshall jumped on Dark. I was thrown aside and the two began wrestling each other.
Paul, I think they meant to say confident with other girls. Just gotta read the room a little, friend. Pure confidence is just gonna win you every argument. Oh, /me then comment. Oh, okay. Joyce?
I'm pretty sure I was watching them.
Emma doesn't have any reason to lie, but Lana sure does. I need to get Emma to tell me as much as she can about. I need to get Emma to tell me as much as she can. All right, cool. So we know we need to draw.
Oh, rather it's the it shows up as italics for us, but it's the color on the stream. Okay.
Fucking dies. Friend Geek immediately kills himself. Like, he's like, oh, it's great.
It's
I'm just like, that's every time I see that happen, I just struggle.
frantically looks up more Australianism to sports teams.
I should restream since my capture card. Yeah, no, restreaming is very easy with Restream. It's free.
I mean, also.
And if you're only doing it to one or two different things. Like
Also, Streamlabs OBS has this new mob crush
yeah, Mob
thing,
Crush.
which also does restreaming. I don't know how.
I think
well
it's
it
free
works.
for now to build up a user base, and they'll probably start charging for open features. So Restream does that already. So yeah.
Indeed, nothing wrong with the strategy. Just applying it to the wrong people.
Let's see here. So we've already pressed this. We need to present some evidence
It
to get
seems
her
to have been
talk.
lost, and that's where you present the lost picture.
And it's the evidence list too, right? So if I double
Yes.
check this, I just want to double check this.
Let's check the back.
Yeah, here it is.
Yeah.
And if I double check again. So there's the Kniff. Yeah. All right. Cool. Present.
Correct, Ashy. That is how you do it. You go /me and then you type in your message.
Rob's Paul 101 for his confidence because I need some. Aw. Mr. Edgeworth?
Don't
This
worry,
little
friend
girl
geek.
put
You've
all her
got
heart into-
more years to come.
This little girl put all her heart into drawing that picture. And yet you would insist on denying its existence? Huh? Hey, I'm not the bad guy. All I'm saying is that the prosecutor for this case.
As the prosecutor.
No, all I'm saying is that as the prosecutor for this case, I wasn't handed such a picture. That may well be, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Behold, this is the evidence list for the SL9 incident. Please turn it over, Your Honor. Turn it over. Turn it. Ah! What's this? What is this? Yes, what is that?
Hey, that's it. That's the picture I drew.
Rah, 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 rah.
Indeed, welcome to the Glasses Club, even though I've left it.
Yeah, Joyce has recently left them, and I am actually thinking about getting glasses off.
I should.
But like,
you know
who am
what?
I without my glasses, right? Like,
you
this
know
has
what?
become a part of
we
me.
We should edit my glasses onto Ash's face now.
Yeah. Indeed, two men appear to be wrestling here. Wrestling. What is the meaning of this? What are you doing with that list? Me? Only the prosecutor in charge would have had access to that list. Huh? These lists, they're different from each other. What? It would appear, Mr. Edgeworth, that the evidence list you were handed 2 years ago was incomplete. These two lists fit together to form one. You can see the markings here where they were torn apart from each other. So you see, Mr. Edgeworth, it's quite obvious what happened. 2 years ago, only half the evidence in the case ever reached you. Low-key fame streamer, Joyce. I thought you were a big...
I thought you were a big fan of Ash.
Order. Well, Miss Sky, why did you draw your picture on the back of such an important list? Or why did you?
Because that's what Detective Goodman handed me in the questioning room, Your Honor.
And Rashi. Oh, I see. I'm only an afterthought. Cool, whatever. It's okay.
It's okay. He's my arm candy. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm the hip ornament.
Yeah, you're my trophy husband.
Yeah, trophy husband. Just sit at home, cook, clean, provide money and safety. I do everything. Wait a minute. If this list was torn in half, then that means... Your Honor! Are you alright, Mr. Rat? Your eyes are bulging from your head. If the evidence list was torn in half, then there might be more of the drawing on the back of Mr. Edgeworth's list. Oh, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, text is never so clear, Paul. I don't blame you. I mean, like, it happens all the time. Just everyone calm down. Jokes were made. Fun was had. Let's leave it alone.
Yeah.
We all agree. Laughs. Yes, that's quite conceivable, Mr. Edgeworth. It's possible. Let's see.
He's so
I'm
constipated.
pooping!
He's so
I'm a poop! Is something wrong? Do you even have to ask? I'm pooping. I'm pooping. Sorry, Your Honor. There is indeed something drawn on the back of my list. It's that thing. Oh! It's not. That's that thing. And that thing was dancing in the evidence. That thing was dancing in the evidence room. Clearly, this act of vandalism is the work of a certain chief of detectives. I guess he was out of scrap paper? Evidence list restored and updated. Oh, I should probably look at that.
Constipated.
Very well, witness. Would you please testify about this picture you drew 2 years ago?
Oh, yes, sir, Your Honor. Back from the Bob Ross stream. How is your Peppa Pig?
What's wrong, Emma? She seemed to be thinking about something when she was looking at that picture.
Now let's take a look at that picture.
Emma's picture. I made it out of crayon. It was good.
This is the picture I drew 2 years ago. The flash of lightning was so bright, all I could see were shadows. After that, I must have fainted. This picture shows exactly what I saw in that instant.
To think a flash of lightning could burn such an image in your mind. Thanks to that, though, she was able to show us exactly what she saw. Well, I don't see any contradictions here. This clearly shows Joe Dock about to murder prosecutor near Marshall. Actually, let's double check the court records. I want to see the full image. ID card record. So much. Oh my god, there's like 4 pages of evidence. This is driving me nuts. Let's check the evidence. Huh. Cool.
Indeed.
I'm just like, what? I'm back. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. Press everything. All right, Tony, have a good sleep, man.
All right, have a good night.
Did you draw this picture right after the incident?
I think I drew it 2 or 3 days later. At first I was in such a state of shock that I couldn't do anything.
During that time, the investigation team was reorganized. Detective Goodman was placed in charge, under the direction of Damon Gaunt and Lana Skye. 2 or 3 days later, the memory should still be fresh. The memory should still have been fresh in her mind. Excuse me, witness. But can you please tell us why this picture is painted all black?
All you could see was shadows.
Yeah. So at the time you didn't even know it was Mr. Marshall who had come to your rescue.
No, I couldn't see him clearly. The lightning was so bright, and I was knocked to the floor.
You were knocked to the floor.
The dark had a tight grip on me, but when Mr. Marshall jumped on him, I was knocked away. I turned around, and that's when the lightning flashed. Except it looks...
Poor Emma. I'm glad she wasn't hurt. What happened after the lightning flashed? Fainted. You mean you didn't see the actual murder take place? Joyce?
No, I'm sorry.
The flash of lightning only drove off the darkness for a split second. Not only that, but the trauma of the situation understandably caused the witness to faint. Do you really need to torture this girl any further? What? Hey, I'm not the bad guy here.
Anyway, I drew this picture.
Exactly what I saw in that instant. That's strange. She claimed that this is exactly the scene that was imprinted in her mind, and yet there's clearly a contradiction here. If I go forward to the left, oops, sorry. You mean you didn't see the actual murder take place? No. Oops, sorry. That's my bad. Is exactly what she saw, right? But the contradiction is...
There's no tip on the knife?
Yeah. Yeah, the knife is blunted.
Already blunted. So the murder weapon is this one, right? The broken tip was found in the body, so it had already been broken, like used. Yes.
So I think this might be it. I'm just gonna take a wussy save real quick. Wussy save! Did Joe turn out? Oh, thanks, Tony.
Yeah!
Let's hope we can keep getting more people in the chat. I don't really... We all on Discord now so that we can talk to you guys after the stream in case you want to catch up. I know it's really hard to kind of like see everybody's
Oh,
stuff.
hey,
and
look,
talk to
there's a
everybody.
Reese Coles.
The murder weapon is on the is the shoe. Yeah.
Is
Is the shoe. He beat him to death with a shoe. I must have fainted. This is what I saw. Okay, let's present the knife. The kniff.
No.
It's not that. It's the thing is that. Oh fuck me.
You found the Frozen Hannibal song today. Oh my god.
No, it's
Good job, James.
It's the full image, right? It must be.
What?
Let me just double check this thing right here.
This was Emma's handprint.
Yeah. So this is. This is weird. Okay. Photo. Neil autopsy report.
Yeah, it
Stabbed in the back. Died from a puncture to the heart and the lung.
Stab in the back.
Yeah, he's clearly facing him, right? So
Yes.
that was it. He was facing the killer when the stab went down. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this picture the witness drew contains a blatant contradiction.
What? But I still remember it just like it was yesterday.
Mr. Wright, perhaps it would be faster if you simply pointed out the contradiction for us. What part of this picture contradicts the autopsy report?
Him.
Yeah.
Oh? Because
Mr. Wright, how could you?
The act of making an innocent girl cry should warrant
Aw,
a death penalty.
shit.
No. Fuck. Guess it means I shouldn't shift the blame to others. No, I did do that. Yeah. Is it the knife? Is it? No, it's here, right? It should be.
Well, I mean, it's...
I'm just gonna point out the knife and see what happens. There we go. Yeah.
Oh.
Take a look at the knife. Take a look at this knife the man is holding. If you look closely, you can see the tip is broken. Ganesh has left the chat. What? Ganesh had to go fight Parashurama. The bitch wanted to make up a stat. I don't know what happened. Oh, the Hindu gods. Okay, this spawned from a weird Hindu conversation. You guys are weird. Even I don't have to look very closely to see that, Mr. Rat.
But Mr. Wright, look at the evidence. See the murder weapon? Its tip is broken too.
If I recall, the tip of the knife was found broken off in the victim's body.
It was a conclusive piece of evidence that proved Joe Dark was the murderer.
I'm afraid it's not so simple, Emma. And where, pray tell, could you possibly see a problem? It's obvious, really. The victim suffered a single stab wound to the back. If the victim was only stabbed once, then the murder weapon should not have yet have been broken. Ah! What's the meaning of this? Objection! Perhaps the knife was broken beforehand. Ring around the objection! Sorry, but I'm afraid that's not possible. The tip of the knife was found inside the victim's body. If it was broken
The
beforehand,
tip of Ganesh's tusk was broken in that story.
if it was broken beforehand, it couldn't possibly wind up here. That's right. Well, that's right. But what is that? The tip of the knife was undeniably discovered within the victim's body. The only possible explanation for the witness is the witness' memory is mistaken. That's why I asked her so many times if she was sure she remembered correctly. I believe you were annoyed at the time, but she was sure she remembered correctly. But there's no other way to explain this inconsistency. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. There is another explanation. Have you forgotten already? About a little something called falsified evidence? You're treading on thin ice, right? All I'm saying is that this broken knife tip might be the piece of evidence that was forged. You can't deny the possibility. No. Ah! Rabble. It's a lot of objections. Yeah,
It
bring
is a
around the
lot.
objection table. Order. Are you saying the investigation really was corrupted? Your Honor, please allow me once again to go over the evidence that took place the day of the murder.
Events.
the events that took away the murder. The police department and the prosecutor's office was holding a ceremony on that day. After receiving the King of Prosecutors Award at the ceremony, Neil Marshall questioned Joe Dark along with David Gant. During his questioning, Joe Dark fled the room. Prosecutor Marshall chased after him and was killed by Dark. It is my belief that somewhere in this story, there is a lie.
I'm not lying. The man really was holding a broken knife.
If that's the truth, then there's no other way around it. This could not have been the actual murder weapon. There must have been another broken knife. What are the chances of there being 2 broken knives? Another broken knife besides Joe Dark's? Could there possibly have been one? Yes, there is another one.
Yes, there is.
If the witness is adamant about the accuracy of what she saw, it can't just be explained away by a simple observational error. You lied to me! You
Mr.
lied to
Wright.
me, Emma! No.
Mr. Wright.
In that instant, Emma really did see a broken knife. I assume then that you have some information about this other broken knife. If so, please feel free to enlighten us. The murder weapon was already broken prior to the murder. There's only one way. Take a look at this. Here's the real murder weapon. Okay, so here's the difference. The King of Prosecutor trophy doesn't have the knife, and it doesn't show the knife. Or the knife, the halberd, right? But what does is the team gant picture. The answer lies in the past. 2 years in the past. Right here inside this picture. This is a picture of this is the picture of the award ceremony. Ah! What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? It's the broken murder weapon. Notice the award prosecutor Marshall is holding.
That's a broken knife.
It's actually the tip of a halberd. Yeah. As we earlier concluded, the knife in the drawing was not Joe Dark's knife. That being the case, the knife the witness saw was in all likelihood from this award. Phoenix. Yes, Eddie. Planting evidence? No, Eddie. Telling lies? No, Eddie. Neil Marshall was awarded King of Prosecutors that day. As an award, he was given this broken shield and knife. When he chased after Joe Dark, he pulled out this knife. Being a prosecutor, he did not carry a pistol. His broken knife was the only weapon he had in this dangerous situation. But that can't be. Oh, and why not, Mr. Edgeworth? Because if the King of Prosecutors award knife was the murder weapon, then the murder and the victim would be reversed. What do you mean? I mean, the man raising this knife would have been Prosecutor Neil Marshall. Oh! He didn't realize what he just implied. Phoenix, digging down. But the prosecutor was the one who actually died. That's true. What's going on here? It seems Mr. Wright has been a bit too eager to jump to conclusions. Oh.
Hold it! Wait, I remember now. I remember everything.
Witness?
Mr. Edgeworth,
What is it? What is it?
could you show me your evidence list again, please?
His list? The one with that picture scribbled on the back? Right, the second evidence list. We didn't actually get a chance to look over what was on the list, right?
I knew it. This picture? I'm the one who drew it.
What? You drew that?
That's right.
Can anyone recommend a good app for exercises you can do while standing? I'm looking for exercises I can do in a toll booth. I wouldn't say an app for exercising, but I always use one for counting calories and stuff. That's the one I use, and it's like it's called MyFitnessPal, and that one's pretty good for like research, counting calories, whatever you need.
I don't even think it's a real fitness app, but I can't help.
No, you can. It
No.
syncs-
But I can't help but think of "Burn Your Fat with Me," Girls Edition. It's the It's the exercise dating app that Howard was in.
Oh, yeah. Sure. I guess.
I'm sorry, that was...
The list wasn't torn in half at the time I drew this picture. All this time I've been trying so hard to forget. I must have locked this part deep away inside me.
Perhaps it would be best if we added this to your witness's testimony. Would you please tell us what you recalled, Miss Sky?
Yes, Your Honor.
First the knife mix-up, and now the blue badger? This should be interesting.
It's not the badger.
It's not the blue badger. Definitely pole dancing cannot be done in a toll booth, in a booth. But I have a few friends who claim by it. It's really a really good exercise.
Oh my god, the
Evelyn?
core strength? Yeah.
Freaking Evelyn,
Evie
like, oh
is
my god.
Holy goodness, girl.
Like, it is core strength and just like, oh my goodness.
Like, she does things that I wish I could do.
Yeah. I recommend for something in a booth, if you have a desk or if you have a chair, there are plenty of smaller exercises you can do. I know there's ones where you can kind of do like reverse push-ups essentially. I guess Kegel exercises. I don't think you really need to do that. No space in a booth,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
definitely. Things you can do around a chair is basically what it is.
Yeah.
When I saw that man raise his knife, I panicked and rushed towards both of them. I think I knocked away the man with the knife. Just then, there was another flash of lightning, and that's when I saw the blue badger. He wasn't in the room, but I'm sure I saw his shadow.
This is certainly the most unusual. Try impossible. The chief of detectives hadn't even designed him until this year. That would mean he didn't even exist 2 years ago. Yes, well, the defense may now begin its cross-examination.
Stop, please. Don't pursue this any further.
So we're getting close to the truth. Lana, what is the meaning of this? Please remain seated in the defendant's chair.
But you can't do this. I've already confessed to the crime. Why can't you just leave it at that?
Chief Prosecutor Sky, we've already come this far. It's too late to turn back. Silence! Ooh, that's, of course, even for, that was very, 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 very terse for the judge himself.
Ooh.
The defense will now begin its cross-examination. Bailiff, please detain the defendant. Oh, shit.
Ooh.
It seems we're finally getting to the core of the matter. So this is where I think is wrong. But let's press that for now. Yeah, Edgeworth is. You always think that he'll just, he makes up shit. He always gets his man, right? And you're just like, no, he's there for the truth. And then, Gumshoe's just like, we trust him implicitly, and he trusts us implicitly back. If we think it's the guy, he trusts us, and we'll like hunt him down no matter what, right? Are you sure about this?
Of course, see? I even drew a picture of him here.
But it was the chief of detectives who thought up this hideous beast. And that was just this year. The blue badger didn't exist 2 years ago. 2 years ago. This is all quite verifiable.
Verifiable.
I'm waiting for Joyce to...
Oh, sorry. I was looking at.
Yeah, Joyce, I know, but we're in the middle of a interrogate cross-examination here, Joyce.
I know it
Freaking-
sounds strange,
this
but
is
I was
serious
surprised
court.
too when I saw him at the police department. I had this nagging feeling that I'd seen him somewhere before. Now I finally remember.
Oh, brother, just when you thought that thing had caused enough commotion. Tell us, what in the room did you see... Where in the room did you see him dancing?
He wasn't in the room. I'm sure I saw his shadow.
Edgeworth is best worth.
His shadow. So you mean Shadow the
hedgehog?
Is he a hedgehog? No, Shadow the badger? He's getting OCs everywhere. Fuck, dude. So you mean you didn't actually see his face with its winning smile and all?
That's right. But I still remember it. He had 3 creepy horns.
This is pointless. That thing couldn't have possibly existed 2 years ago. The witness must be mistaken. That may well be. But what's important is what we saw. But what's important is what caused her to think she saw what she did. Oh, and I suppose you have an explanation. If so, by all means, tell us what this shadow really was. Was it Emma? What was it Emma saw when the lightning flashed? Who is this blue badger really?
I
just
might know.
The blue badger hadn't even been dreamt up when Emma drew this picture, yet she's certain she saw its shadow. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the defense belief that on this fateful day 2 years ago, there indeed was something that looked similar to the blue badger. I'm gonna fucking pop the safe. Because I am on very thin ice right now. Back it up. Back it up.
Yeah, just in case.
Something that is now sitting in this very room.
Mr. Wright!
In this room. Very well, Mr. Wright. What is it that this witness saw in that instant? Please show us this mysterious blue badger look-alike. So wasn't the prosecutor...
Urn.
It's not him.
The urn. Yeah.
The urn, yeah, right.
Yeah.
What's that? When I heard urn, I keep remembering. I don't know if all y'all know this show called Reboot. There is a moment where they're having a wedding procession, and the guy who's making the wedding happening, he's just like, "Oh, I can see it now. Beautiful red carpet, beautiful carpet, peas, giant statues with giant urns." It just brings a tear to my eyes. I love that line.
Yes.
He's like,
A reboot.
he's
Yes,
just like,
that's what it
because
was.
he only has 2 hands and a square for a body, so he's like marble statues with giant, and like cups his
Crotch
groin
area.
those giant, and then goes urns. Literally that motion. Oh, it's beautiful. Finds a wild joy is tameable. Oh, that's what you think. Ow! You see? Alright. Objectiones. The mysterious blue badger was in fact Korewa! But that's not the fuck is that? What exactly is that? I believe it's some sort of jar.
But Mr. Wright, that doesn't look anything like the blue badger.
Indeed it doesn't. As it stands now, it's just a plain jar. However, what if we were able to change our viewpoint? Viewpoint? We've got to show them the correct angle to look at this from.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like that angle? Which is it? H and B?
Hold on. You might want to make the bottom stick out a little bit more.
Yeah, just trying to get the angle right, but it's really hard with these controls.
Rotate left and right. Yeah.
Something like that.
And then bring it down. Bring her down a little bit more. Yeah, that'll do it.
Engage.
What?
Oh. Allow me to remind the defense
Oh, come
its
on!
case hinges on the witness's drawing. If Mr. Wright can't match the shape of the witness true, we cannot accept this claim. We've got to find the right angle.
Come on!
More horizontally. Okay, so at least they didn't penalize me for it.
Okay.
Because it is difficult. Is it this? Yeah, more horizontally? Or is
Maybe
it facing inwards instead? In. It's super
No.
picky.
Yeah, maybe this way, yeah.
And then,
Make the tail come
yeah,
up
the
a
tail
little
come
bit
up
more.
a bit more. There.
Yeah.
That's probably it.
Because then you get that curve as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it.
That's probably it.
That'll do it.
No,
Oh,
come
come
on!
on!
Serious?
I was so sure. I think you gotta also make like the three edges.
Oh, fuck!
Yeah, at least they don't penalize you for this.
Maybe I should rotate it vertically a bit more. Oh, so it gives me...
Or
oh.
no, it doesn't give.
Maybe if I just jimmy it a little.
No, I think you're in the right.
Okay,
I literally think it's just a matter of like
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the angle that's supposed to be, right?
I think it's, you gotta have, yeah. Down. Up. Something.
No. It has to have a curve, right? So the curve is in the right direction. Like this?
No.
No. Rotate it this. And then this way? No,
you
because
see
you don't get the curve of the
of
yeah.
the horns.
Yeah, so
Oh,
maybe
wait,
it was this way.
Go back a little bit.
Oh, this is annoying.
A little bit more. Maybe down just a scooch.
This has to be it, right?
I swear that's gotta be it. That's too much. I don't. It's gotta be. I think you gotta make sure that you can see the bulb of the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
That's too much. Up. Is that? Yeah, like there.
Ugh. Fuck!
Are you fucking kidding
I'm
me?
like losing my mind right now. This
Oh
is
my
bullshit.
god. Oh, this game.
Sometimes it's like super finicky, and I have no earthly idea why. I really wish it just lock in and be like, yeah, that's right, but it won't.
I mean, there are still some. Let's see.
Maybe I am not looking this the right way. If I hit R to rotate this way, then angle it this way a little bit. Oh, that should be it.
No, we were right. It's
This is very
just
finicky.
the angle.
Nothing wrong with it other than typo. Choto admitted and DMC's games director made me laugh.
No, it was just the angle of it.
Okay, yeah, so it's a little bit more butts up.
More like a.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucking it.
It's just super fucking finicky for some reason. Fucking. Thank you! Oh my god.
Jesus fucking Christ!
Well, is this a miracle or what? There we go.
Ugh. Bullshit.
No one can possibly deny this jar's resemblance to the blue badger. I'm a murder monster.
No.
It can't be. Even he's like, what the fuck, dude? Oh, what the fuck, dude? Order. The defense has proven its claim. This mysterious blue badger witnessed on the day of the crime was actually this. Although we all enjoyed Mr. Wright's dramatic performance, one question remains. What is your point? What do you mean? So the badger thing was actually just a jar. That doesn't change anything. I'm afraid that's where you're wrong, Mr. Edgeworth. You see, this changes everything. Indeed. Well, very well. Then please tell us. What's different now than when we know? What's different now that we know the witness saw a jar? The murder weapon?
The murderer?
We already know the murder weapon. We already know the location.
How does it change?
Maybe the
murder?
location. Because the jar was on the right side, right? So if I double check the court records that got,
Check the picture.
the jar is here, right? And that jar means it's right beside Gant. This is the gold armor. Gold armor, jar. This is by Gant's desk, right?
Ah,
And she said this was
At
by
Emma's.
Emma's desk.
but that's also where we found all the blood. By Emma's.
By Emma's too. But
mean,
that
so it's
doesn't mean he was killed there. He was knocked out and then may have been moved and then killed. Sorry, 1 second. I got cat fuzz on me.
Is it possible to do a pity save?
I don't think I can. Can I?
Options?
Yes, I can.
Yes,
Awesome.
you can.
Bitch save. Boop. Allow me to take these in turn. At the moment of the murder, the witness saw this jar. At a very specific angle, I might add, Mr. Wright. Yes, well, knowing this, where could she have seen this jar? Where? The location of the jar is shown in a picture taken on the day of the crime. Yeah, so that was the right answer. It's on a shelf in the office of Damon Gant. But the body was found lying near Lana Sky's desk. The witness testified so. Yes, and it's these two facts that reveal what exactly transpired. You see, the struggle between Dark and Marshall did not take place in Lana Sky's office. It happened on the other side of the room, in Chief Gant's office. Are you implying the murderer moved the victim's body from Damon Gant's office to Lana Sky's office? Yes. Why would he do that? There's no reason. Exactly. If there wasn't a reason, he wouldn't have gone through the trouble. The only logical conclusion is that there was a reason. Do you know what that reason was, Mr. Rat? I finally figured it out. So this is why Lana tried to stop the trial. It's too late to quit now, though. Please recall the witness's testimony. She said she knocked away the man who was holding up the knife. In the next instant, the jar was hit and flew through the air. Now tell me, what would have sent the jar flying? Well, that would have been the impact the man made when he was knocked into the wall. Ladies and gentlemen, if I may draw your attention to this picture once more. Oh my god, I think it's coming together in my brain right now. Oh, I know what happened. If the man was knocked in the direction of the shelf, the jar was sitting on, what would he have hit?
Ah!
That suit of armor, holding a very sharp and dangerous looking sword. Yes.
It's not a sword, but
And since the man who was knocked into the armor was carrying a broken knife, he would have had to have been Neil Marshall, wielding the King of Prosecutors trophy. No, Mr. Wright, you can't be thinking. Yes, there's another possibility of what actually transpired in that room. Another possibility? Of course the perpetrator would have no idea, but nevertheless, I don't know if I can go through with this. He knows and I know too. I've got to be piecing this together. Mr. Wright, what's the matter? If the events took place as the defense theorizes, then the outcome is obvious. In that moment, assuming the man Emma Sky knocked away was actually Prosecutor Neil Marshall, he would have fallen into the knife. So Emma accidentally killed Neil Marshall, who was protecting her from
dark.
Oh shoot. Oh shit. And the reason why Lana covered it up was to protect her sister.
Mr. Marshall died because of me?
This is like an Edgeworth thing all over again, where he talks to you like,
No!
I love how everybody's just like, what the
Oh my god!
Oh, she fucking passed out! Someone call a medic! Is there a doctor in the house? I never imagined her testimony would lead to this. So it was the witness who took the victim's life, and then proved so with her own testimony. This is unprecedented. Rabble, 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 rabble,
And
rabble,
she's not on the
rabble,
stand.
rabble.
Objection! What are you saying?
I'm sorry, Miss Sky, but given the circumstances,
Joe Dark murdered Prosecutor Marshall. How can you think it was Emma? How dare you try to pin this crime on her?
imagine that coming from you. If you recall, it was you who admitted to forging evidence 2 years ago. The reason you moved Prosecutor Marshall's body was to keep anyone else from finding about what Emma did, wasn't it?
I assure you, Mr. Edgeworth, I have no idea what you're talking about. If you hope to have anyone believe your insane allegations, I'm afraid you're going to have to find proof. Tell me, do you have any conclusive evidence that proves my sister killed Neil Marshall?
We do. Evidence?
I'm willing to bet you don't.
Yes, it is certain. It certainly would be difficult to prove this without evidence. If we don't have evidence, then we'll have to rely on testimony.
Circumstantial at best.
Yeah.
I'm afraid that won't work in this case. Both parties involved in the incident are dead.
You certainly can't get dead people to testify.
Not
yet.
today.
Yet. Oh, okay. I thought I was spooked.
No,
I can't.
no,
He's
you
fine. Fred's fine.
No, that was probably just me. Meh.
This has all been a wild goose chase from the beginning. You can't be guilty if you're dead. I should use that for like the meme
The
now.
next
just
one?
like for like memes. It's just like you can't hate Phoenix Wright if you've never watched it. Of course, that only leaves
Where's
us
Miss
one
Maya when you
possibility.
need her? I know,
You mean
right?
it's still not a possibility? What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? I mean the possibility that the victim has left us a message. For better or for worse, Mr. Marshall did not die instantly. He may have left behind the name of the person who took his life. In one manner or another.
That's impossible.
The jar. Well, Mr. Wright, this is the only possibility left to you. As I make a wussy save, sorry.
It's Phoenix Wright Zombie Edition.
That's more like Phoenix Wright Chaos Chasers edition. A message from the deceased. Does such a message exist? Gotta think back to the court records. The real murderer's name that the victim may have left behind is in the evidence. Yeah. This message from the deceased is already in our possession.
Mr. Wright, will you stop at nothing to prove my sister a murderer?
Do not be mistaken, Miss Sky. Our purpose is not to accuse Emma of any crime. There is only one thing we seek, the truth, no matter how painful it may be. Now then, Mr. Wright, please show us the piece of evidence that conveys the message from the deceased. It's the jar. Look at this jar! The message left by the deceased. This is the blue badger from before, right?
Oh, is he going to just speak the killer's name?
If that thing could, I'm sure it would.
I like how
Everyone assumes it's
The-
the blue badger because of the silhouette they had been
Yeah.
talking about. Looks like everyone just forgot this was just a jar. The message left here on the surface of this jar. What do you mean? If you look closely, you can see a faint trail of blood on this jar. It looks like someone wiped the blood away. Yes, but notice, for some reason, the blood on some of the fragments was not wiped away. Yes, there still is a line here, drawn in blood. So what you're saying is these dots were once lines. Prosecutor Marshall did not die instantly. He used the few precious moments left to give, to him to leave behind a message. One that someone apparently wiped away. But blood must have seeped into the jar where the lines changed direction. Precisely so. All we need is to connect the points on the dots and the points, well, whatever, and the victim's message will become apparent.
No.
Mr. Wright, what kind of message did the victim leave for us? Your Honor, I believe the bloodstains will reveal us the answer. I've got to connect these dots to make letters. There's only one thing the victim would have written given the circumstances: the murderer's name. Is it Lana? No, is it
Emma.
Yeah, it is Emma. I can see it. Oh, I love how it gets all red. Like, yeah. So let's see. Can I do the mouse to this? I can't. Boom. Easy.
Yeah, thank God.
Oh, shit. Fuck. Cock. Shit. Dicks. Alright.
Come on.
Oh shit, it's in katakana.
No, I have to.
It's easier this way, isn't it?
Actually, it won't let me do it. I have to do it.
You gotta go from dot to dot.
Oh yeah, so I don't need the E.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. Perfect. Rosebud. There we go. I think. Let me just double check. Okay, point 1, point 2. All those points are connected. Points are connected. Points are connected. Perfect. Awesome. And present. It's a defense attorney's duty to prove their client's innocence. That's why all I've been thinking about is saving Lana. After all my efforts, I never thought it would turn out like this. Bam, flawless evidence. Emma. So this is the final message Prosecutor Marshall left behind. Holy shit baskets! Of all the people, she may not have meant it, but in the end, the one who took the victim's life was Emma Skye.
Dun, dun, dun.
Everyone's like, what the? It's like one guy in the back. What the fuck? Seaworthy? Can't say I didn't warn you. Oh, motherfucker. Chief Gaunt. Do you understand the implications of what you've done?
They don't even want to rabble.
Yeah. What? What are you talking about? 2 years ago, Joe Dark was sentenced to death. He was convicted because of his final murder. I believe you were the prosecutor in the case, weren't you? I believe you were the prosecutor in the case, were you not? Ugh. Yes, Worthy. Because of you, an innocent man was sentenced to death. Not only that, but you used forged evidence to ensure his conviction. But Joe Dark really was a serial murderer. That's undeniable. I'm afraid that's not important. Didn't you know we aren't defenders of justice? What? We're merely keepers of the law. Sentencing a man to death is no light matter. Even if there wasn't any cover-up or evidence forgery, ultimately the responsibility falls on the prosecutor in charge. Despite what anyone might say, this fact cannot be denied. Oh, everyone's like, motherfucker! What's going on in the prosecutor's office? Oh, everyone's like losing their shit right now.
Order! Order!
Order! Order! Yeah, crazy animals. The gavel's pounding fell on deaf ears. Unable to settle the crowd, the judge declared a recess. Where the trial is headed, no one knows. Oh, to be what? Oh, right, this is the other segment. That's right.
Because it's a long-ass trial.
It's a long-ass trial. It's the final day, too, right?
Mm.
Yes, I would like to save my progress. Thank you.
Long-ass trial.
Sorry, Edgeworth. I'm losing my shit, too, right? So many things are coming to you at once. And you're just like, but...
You thought the DL6 incident was bad?
The SL9 incident is crazy.
Actually, no, the DL6 incident is
Oh,
pretty
yeah,
bad.
shit. The DL6 incident actually continues on to the next 2 games, by the way. Mild spoilers.
Yeah, the DL6 is...
The DL6 touches everything. I didn't mean to get you in trouble. Don't worry about it. This is my problem, not yours. Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Oh, good lord. Just come... Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later. I'm sorry.
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Wait, Detective
It's fine.
Gumshoe. What is it? Oh, Gumshoe. You've got a lot of noise, pal. Making a detective runner all around while I'm on duty. And on top of it all, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. I take it Lana's having you run errands again. Let me tell you, this is the last time, pal. Here, she asked me to give you this if there was a break in today's trial. Evidence law. Evidence law? Edgeworth was talking about that just the other day. You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department.
Is that right, Mr. Wright?
It seems so.
You could at least study some evidence law, really.
The chief prosecutor also wanted me to give you a message. A message? She said, if you're planning to take him on, you're going to need this book. Damn. I guess I'll need to give this book a thorough read. Evidence law securely slipped into pocket. Doesn't look like that book will do you any good now, though. All that's left now is the chief prosecutor's sentence. And that's where you're wrong, Detective. Huh? Haven't you figured it out yet? Why I'm still sitting in that prosecutor's seat, despite all these allegations being thrown at me? Mr. Edgeworth, the real trial today has yet to begin. What? What else is there left to do? Your credibility's all been ruined with this forged evidence you were unaware of. Emma Skye found out she's unwittingly caused the man's death. And now you're telling me you want to do more? You've got to be kidding me, pal! You're missing the point, Detective. Blast Gumshoe, yeah, I know, right? Lana didn't murder Detective Goodman. She merely stuck a knife into his dead body. That means the real killer is still out there. What? And we're going to expose him, no matter what it takes. This case has hurt too many people. It's time to bring it to an end. Ah, Jiffy, hello!
Hey! Team South Carolina!
Bravo, 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 bravo.
I like how we've just, like, grouped you together.
Eh.
There's
Like
Undead and Wayward is Team Hella Gay. And Undead and Jiffy is Team South Carolina. Just TS TSC TSC.
Court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor. The inquiry committee is planning to impose harsh penalties for your actions. Thank you for the news, Your Honor. Yes, well, normally this is where the prosecution calls forth a witness, but this isn't easy to say. You see, there is some concern that you, Mr. Edgeworth, may have struck a bargain. You think I may have manipulated the witnesses? I didn't say that. It's just, you see, everyone's been talking, and very well, Your Honor. I have a solution. A solution? That being the case, the prosecution will allow the defense to call forth all further witnesses. What? What? But there's no precedent for what you're proposing. Undeniably, this is an unusual arrangement, but a very effective one. It would prove that I haven't yet struck any deals with the witness. Well, Mr. Rab, what do you say? Unbelievable. Edgeworth has found a way to continue the trial? Very well. The defense accepts the prosecution's proposal. Then it's settled. The defense may now call forth the next witness. Mr. Wright, you do realize this is your last chance. If you call the wrong witness, this trial is as good as over.
Ah, nice, your bar is full.
Yeah, but I'm just gonna save though, because sometimes they throw trick ones where it's just like your bar is full. Jokes! Cliche Gamer 95, hello.
Hello, Cliche Gamer.
Hello, hello. I see you're
Welcome
here
in.
one of the clichéiest. Cliche. Oh, it's I said
Cliché.
cliched. I said cliched. Like I thought it was click. I'm so sorry. It's Cliche Gamer.
Oh my god.
I thought it said click, like a section.
Like a clique?
Yeah, clique.
Oh my
Because
god.
I'm just a terrible human being that likes to
Oh,
put everybody
honey.
in some kind of.
It's okay.
Yeah. It's not okay. I should be better than this. Ah!
The defense calls!
The defense freaking rests. I'm out of here.
Arash. It's okay, he's not an English major.
I'm not an English major. I did do really well in English though, but I'm more of a
Bless
history
your
buff.
heart.
Just a little bit extremely intoxicated.
In the most southern of ways.
I missed both uproars. It appears. Yeah, you missed it. We're at the very tail end of the case.
There's still a couple more uproars. You missed the biggest one, that's for
Yeah.
sure.
But yeah, I am nursing a really bad hangover from yesterday. So the defense calls. Time's finally come to bring out the real murderer. Me kids! It's all me kids!
Sir, I wanted to apologize, sir. I just didn't know what I was going on.
Can you imagine like they filled in so every single person here can actually get in? No, it was Bruce Goodman. Bring in the corpse, damn it! Bring in the corpse. He's like, I don't think we could do that. I cross-examined a parrot once, and that freaking worked. So I did it. I swear. No, it's Gant. Is it Gant?
Gant.
It's Gant. But yeah. Damon Gant. The defense calls Damon Gant to the stand. Reese calls.
yeah!
Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow.
Bring in the damn corpse.
Bring in the damn corpse. Well, I know it's there. Damon Gant. Damon Gant. What does he have to do with anything? As the defendant's partner 2 years ago, Mr. Gant has first-hand knowledge of the crime. I feel we should hear what he has to say about it. As luck would have it, he should still be in the courthouse. He would also be the least likely to have been manipulated by me in any way. Would you agree, Your Honor? The corpse. If they try to cross-examine the corpse, I wouldn't even be surprised. Yeah. Last game, like this game,
again.
where you cross-examined a parrot.
Polly.
All right.
Oh.
Bailiff, please escort Mr. Gant to the stand.
Don't
He's
forget.
just like, well, I'm here. I love you. Oh, they didn't do that one, did they?
I love you.
I love you, Yami. His name was Yami Yogi, remember? I love you, right? Like he would say that because that's what he changed it to do, right? To be his wife. Witness, please state your name and occupation. What is this, some kind of practical joke? I was just on my way to lunch. Your name and occupation, sir. Worthy, are you sure you want to do this? Get on with it, old man. Your name and occupation. So, you want to play hardball, eh? I did speak to a parrot during Main Street's car free day now.
Ah, neat.
There was a parrot at a garage sale I once went to, and he loved to sing, What's New Pussycat?
Oh.
So whenever he saw a dog, no, he would sing, How Much Is That Doggy in the Window? Every time he saw a dog.
Oh,
So
that's
a little
adorable.
puppy would walk by, he's like, How much is that doggy in the window? Woof, woof. Yeah, I'd be like, like, yeah, that's the parrot.
That is amazing.
Please, Mr. Gant. Fine. My name is David Gant. I am the acting chief of police. Now then, Chief
Good
Gant,
burb.
the court requests to hear your testimony. Oh, righto. What's with the grim face? First, let's clear up the SL9 incident. Oh, you mean the time when Lana Sister murdered that prosecutor? Personally, I think it's been made pretty clear already. There are still some things unaccounted for. Oh, like what? Like the role you played in all of this. Son, you're very brave or very foolish. You are aware, of course, that a police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal. Weapons? Sure! Take my testimony, for example. I don't have to give it if I don't want to. What? Is that true? Hold on 1 second. I need to check one thing before I do this. And that is the big book, this big book right here. Rules for submitting evidence. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial.
Because if he doesn't approve of it as...
He doesn't have to, right? So every time I bring evidence, I have to attach it to some way or
It has
somehow.
to be relevant because
Yeah.
because he would not approve of it.
No,
As-
it's one or the other, not necessarily both.
Yeah, no, because he doesn't approve. Like,
Oh yeah, he could say no, it's not relevant to this case, and then I'd have to.
yeah. So you would
circumvent
have to
it.
prove relevancy every single time.
So, cliche gamer, let me know what brought you to the stream. Unless you were a big cliche gamer fan of Phoenix Wright, which most of us are. I think what was it Team can't remember the name now, Joyce. Team Carolina.
Team South Carolina.
Team South Carolina. I don't think you've actually watched any Phoenix Wright or played any Phoenix Wright. I think this is also Wayward's first time too.
And James's.
And
He was
Jimmy's.
very-
Well, I don't know. I mean, like I know James probably knows
James
the gist of it because
he knows the gist of it, but he's never seen. Like he's never actually gone through an entire court himself. That's why he's so invested.
Yeah, true. I'm afraid so. The chief of police has the right to refuse to testify. Of course, such an action carries with it a certain risk. Don't worry, I'm not here to hinder your trial. Just remember, if this turns out to be a big waste of time, don't say I didn't warn you. Very well, the witness may now begin his testimony.
Starts with one long pause.
No, he didn't.
It actually was.
No, he didn't. I just did.
Oh.
As I recall, Neil and I were questioning him that day. To make a long story short, we slipped up. The power outage didn't help either. Then I went to my office and I found Lana there. Apparently she had already arranged the crime scene. As you can see, I had nothing to do with this forgery. Oh, Team Carolina. I'm sorry. Team South Carolina is some of the South Carolinians in the chat. We just named them Team South Carolina. There's only 2 of them, but...
Yeah, we were saying that this was your first time watching a Phoenix Wright game, isn't it?
Is that when Doc was arrested? He was lying on the floor unconscious. Hurt me. When Emma sent Neil flying, it seems Doc bumped his head. I see. Everything seems pretty clear cut. If the police chief has the right to refuse to testify, I better hit him hard and fast. Hard and fast. I have seen many playthroughs.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Not exactly. I've played this case in Trilogy at least once, and I've seen playthroughs. Oh, okay.
Nice.
Yes. Actually, I haven't played anything past Trials and Tribulation. Or no, I played Apollo Justice.
We've played the first 4 games.
4 games. Snapchat. Or StarCraft, SC, for all you RTS fans out there. As I recall, the ceremony was held at the police department that day. Yes, that's right. I guess you could say I'm a workaholic. After winning his award, Neil was all fired up too. That's probably what spooked Doc and made him run away like that. Was the defendant Lana Skye also present in the room? I don't quite remember. At the very least, she wasn't where Doc ran. She wasn't there when Doc ran for it. You're from New Jersey. Oh, New Jersey!
Hey, wasn't KupoCon at New Jersey?
Are you a KupoCon fan?
Did you go to
You go
KupoCon?
to KupoCon? Are you a Final Fantasy buff? To make a long story short, we slipped up. Team Eastern Daylight said, yeah, we're just broadening the scope now. So the two of you ran immediately after him, right? That's right, but Doc made it to the elevator first, so Neil and I split up. He went upstairs and I went downstairs. I guess you could say he got lucky. That doesn't seem smart. Last con you went to was Anime Next. Okay. What's this about a power outage? Oh, that! The elevator stopped all of a sudden, and I got the shock of my life. Well, probably not as shocked as Neil when that knife went through his heart, though. That's not funny. When I went to my office, I found Lana there. Could you tell us what you saw? It was a shocking sight. Neil and that serial killer were lying in a heap on the floor, all tangled together. Doc was also lying collapsed. Doc was also lying collapsed on the floor? Yes, apparently it hit his head and was knocked out. Chief Camp, please.
Yes.
Held in Atlantic. Okay, I like this.
Yeah, I know of Anime Next.
Next to them were those two poor girls, Lana and Emma. Lana was cradling Emma in her arms. Looking back at it now, she must have already known that her sister had done it. Apparently, she had already arranged the crimes. How do you know that? Because of the victim's body. It had already been moved. So that means you found the body near Lana's desk. That's right. I think you said earlier it was my suit of armor that really stabbed the prosecutor. Yes. That doesn't seem... Anyway. As you can see, I had nothing to do with the forgery. So you're saying that the forgery had already taken place by the time you arrived at your office? That's exactly what I'm saying. I can understand how Lana must have felt, but moving a body and hiding evidence are inexcusable no matter what the circumstances. Is this how it really went down? Staring at the witness won't do you any good, Mr. Wright. If you're going to stare at anything, you'd be better off staring at the court record. Worthy, always the smooth talker. But which piece of evidence ties Gas to the forgery? Lana did admit to forging evidence, but what can be the whole truth? But that can't be the whole truth. Somehow I've got to link Gat to the incident. It's the
handprint?
It's the handprint because it was found in his safe. But it has to say that, doesn't it? Yeah, found in Chief Gant's safe. So this is probably it. But before I do that, coward save.
Coward save.
Coward save. There's an Australian owl that says woof woof.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Before I Wikipedia binging, could you tell what's worth knowing? Barking owls. I don't think barking owls didn't exist. Owls are smart. I can expect them to do a lot of crazy things.
I mean, there's the cat that learned to bark.
That's true.
There's an old ass YouTube video of a cat like looking out a window and you hear it going "Meow, meow, meow, meow." And then as the owner
approaches it
and it turns around and it realizes what's going on, it goes "Meow, meow, 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 meow." goddamn cat.
Yes. Oh, I'm not talking about you, Frederick. Some other goddamn cat.
I'm pretty sure it's the piece of cloth. Yep. If you really had nothing to do with the forgery, then how do you explain this? What's that? What's that? And what's that on it? A handprint. Chief Gant, your explanation, please? Well, let me just twiddle this around a little bit. I don't know. You tell me, son. Huh? My dear Righto, don't you know the second rule of evidence law? Uh-oh, this is not this again. Evidence law. Rule number 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. Tell me, how is that rag relevant to this trial? It appears the defense was not prepared. I guess it's too early to use this piece of evidence.
Damn.
Please accept my profound apologies, Chief. Would you mind giving the defense another chance? Well, okay. I'll do it just this once, but only because you asked, Udgy. Thank you. I assure you the defense is terribly sorry.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry I didn't nail you. Maybe something more.
Also tell Frederick he is perfect and I love him.
Oh, you hear that?
At least they
Frederick?
didn't penalize me for it, which is very nice of it. Because sometimes they're just like, nope, you failed, get out of here.
Oh, no, no one can see Frederick. He is like literally right behind. Yeah, that's our puddle cat. This is our puddle cat. Come in. Yes, yes, good boy, good boy. Look at him. Oh, yes. Oh, who wants to turn around for a belly scritch? Look at that fluffy white tummy. Oh, yes.
So what do we... Fred is bitey. We may never be friends.
Well, you'll be friends better than Colston is.
I'm lost here. I'm not quite sure what ties him directly to the... It has to be something in here, maybe? No. Maybe this one? Yes, that's right. He hid the evidence. It was in his desk. You claim you had nothing to do with this forgery, but I'm afraid that is a claim you cannot back up. Explain yourself. Several pieces of evidence were found in your office. Take this list, for example. That's the list Mascara drew his picture on. This was discovered in your desk. Not only that, but a piece of the jar that was sitting in your office was found inside your safe. It was found where? You see, Chief Gant, these articles of evidence uncovered in your office are both concrete proof that you also played a part in an illegal investigation.
Says the guy who broke into an office to...
He didn't break into an office. Technically, someone let him in.
broke into a safe.
Yeah, that would be bad. Chief Gant, what's the meaning of this? Oh! Here's a defense attorney who may even rival Worthy. So we admit to it then, that you were involved in the forgery. Who, me? Or do you mean you? Me? Why would I have anything to do with that? Well, you were the one who snuck into my office when you found this evidence. Prosecutors aren't the only ones capable of forging evidence, you know. Defense attorneys can also do this. Isn't that right, Righto? However, Detective Gumshoe was present during the investigation. Worthy, my boy. Not even detectives are exempt from the law. Rest assured, Dick will receive his due punishment. What? What?
He'll watch that cat video. It was spectacular.
If Detective Gumshoe's salary drops any further, he'll end up paying to work.
Oh,
no, Gumshoe! Yes, well, in the light of the detective's presence, please give us your testimony regarding these pieces of evidence found in your office. And their relationship to the forgery that took place in the crime scene.
Oh, not Gumshoe.
My. Kids these days no longer know how to put two and two together. Let's see, what was it now? A jar fragment and a list. For all I know, you could have planted them in my office. Anyway, you can't prove when these pieces of evidence were discovered. If they were found after Doc was convicted, they were worthless. There's no reason I'd participate in a forgery. Rearranging the crime scene wouldn't help me out in any way. Yes, it would. Blackmail. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. When investigating the crime scene, you should have been more careful to observe protocol. You understand that I am the chief of police, right? There will be consequences. Oh, indeed, I believe I will press charges, so you won't make the same mistake again. My apologies, Chief, but would you mind waiting until tomorrow for that? Today is, well, you know. All right, Haji. In return, though, I know, that place, right?
The pool.
Huh? What are these guys, telepathic? Oh, they gotta go to the pool together?
I don't know, that's how, what other places he...
No, I think he means you have to buy me dinner.
Yeah, I know.
You could have planted them in my office.
Oh, we kind of have a YouTube.
It's more of a repository for all our streams right now. We do
like half our stream,
but we don't really kind of focus on YouTube as much. Although we kind of want to, but the algorithm there is so stingy. Like, if I say the word fuck, cock, shit, dick, they will automatically, like, push the video into some god-awful part of the algorithm. So
not only that, but I think it also has a really strict censorship thing as well.
So even if we
every time I play Kingdom Hearts and the opening starts with Utada Hikaru,
copy strike.
It's a copyright strike. On Twitch, at least they're smart enough to just mute out that section. But on Facebook for sure, maybe YouTube, they will cut out the entire video.
Although I've been getting around Facebook by simply going, it's completely unskippable. Like, and underneath like fair use, like it's a transformative. Like I put everything around it. There's a frame, there's a voice, there's people, there's a chat, and then there's like the screen, right? And I'm like, and they passed it. They're like, that's fine. I'd appreciate it if you'd stop making these ridiculous allegations. Yes, you do have a point. You wouldn't have the guts to do something like that. What? I'll have you know, back in my day, I once broke into a cattle ranch and tipped tipped the cow. Mr. Wright, what are you saying?
Don't admit to your crimes.
Anyway, you can't prove that you didn't. You can't prove you didn't carry in the evidence, can you? If you have the proof to the contrary, you're going to need it later. Later? What are you talking about? What else? I'm talking about when Raito's prints are found. Yes, if they're found inside my safe, that would prove this investigation was illegal. I've never faced anyone as slimy as this guy. What was the other one? Hypothetical, of course, but suppose I did place those items in my safe. Such an act wouldn't necessarily constitute forgery. If concealing evidence found at a crime scene isn't forgery, I'm not through speaking it, righto. It all depends on when the evidence was discovered. If they were found after Doc was convicted, then they were worthless. Are you saying the fragment of this jar wasn't discovered in the initial investigation? It would appear not. After all, it wasn't listed in the evidence list. For all we know, it could have suddenly materialized the day after Doc was sentenced. And wouldn't that be convenient? Right. The chief is talking about a possibility, so long as you can't rule that out. Your remarks, however clever they may be, will only succeed in wasting time. Tell me something I don't know. Come now, righto. Think about it. There's no reason I'd participate in a forgery.
Also, I have not beaten Kingdom Hearts. Those are on Tuesdays only. And we are still where we left off.
Yeah, Joyce is
I am so okay. There's a clip. I clipped the end of that because I was so mad why I didn't why I pressed X for the final attack. It was a scripted attack. Ventus fucking missed. Little shit. I was supposed to be done. Right after I ended the stream, I went through that fight one more time. And I did it. And I won. And I got the ending credits. And I'm like, son of a... And then I went to bed.
How can you look me in the eye and say that? Because I'm innocent. Remember? Who was it that murdered Neil? I'm not sure I care for the word murder here. But in the end, the person responsible for Mr. Marshall's unfortunate demise was Emma Sky. Well, now do you see?
Oh my god, my friend has a cat that sounds like a sobbing child. Good god. They would know their power and use it.
Really, Chief Cat? At the very least, there is one very large benefit for you've reaped from all this. No, I wasn't aware. What is this benefit? That would be, of course, the position you have, Chief of Police.
Oh?
The resolution of SL9 incident secured your promotion to Chief. That in itself is sufficient motive. Oh, that's a good one. Huh? Do you really think I'm that incompetent? What do you mean? Even without that case, I was already in line to become the next chief. The resolution of SL9 merely sped up the inevitable a little. Is that true, Edgeworth? Yes, he was going to be made chief anyway. Gah! Be careful when pointing that finger, or you might wind up being the one pointed at. So that means there's only one possible motivation for you to commit forgery. If you didn't do it for yourself, then you did it for someone else. Ooh, Edgeworth is leading him. Don't be silly, Worthy. You know me better than that. There are only 3 people I look out for. Me, myself, and I. There. It's out in the open now. Udgy, would you mind if I changed my testimony a little? Ooh. By all means, please do. I wouldn't be anyone's accomplice if there was nothing for me involved into it. There is. You have blackmail material on
Lana.
Yeah. Nothing in it for you? Sorry, but the only person I care about is yours truly. A very beautiful dance group of Korean dancers. You can check them out on yours truly on Facebook and YouTube. I'm not joking. There's
our friends is the Korean cover group, K-pop cover group. Yours truly, and they're like fucking amazing.
Yeah. So if you
seriously, yeah, go check them out. YouTube.com/yours truly.
I wanna take a screenshot of this and be like,
fucking take a screenshot.
Well, the problem is if I screenshot from here.
No, that.
Oh, yeah, I guess I could do that. I'm gonna do print screen and hold that for now.
Yeah.
Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna print screen this shit.
Paint if you have to.
Yeah, paint.
There you go.
I'm gonna save this.
Because it's a dual screen, it'll show
Yeah,
both,
it'll show
but
both.
that's okay.
I'll cut it up later.
Yeah.
My desktop, bing bada boom done. Oh no,
Yeah, no.
It'll be fine. Yeah, I got the screen right.
Yeah, there you go. There it is.
Done, nailed it. It's even uppercase as proper now. Yeah.
I know.
That girl, Lana's little sister, was it? If you think I felt sorry for her, you better think again. You're right, you don't feel sorry for anyone. Be tough on crime and tough on people, that's how I was raised. You seem to be lax enough on yourself, though. That's a good one, Worthy. Could there have been something in it for him? Given his selfishness, would he have helped someone out?
Point out accomplice.
Yep. True, you might not help out anyone for their sake, but if it would benefit you, you might decide to assist someone. Mr. Wright, it appears you're positively determined to portray the chief as a nice man who likes to lend people a hand. That's not what I mean. Can't go suck a moldy dick. Yeah, he's an ass.
Mm-hmm.
He's a egotistical narcissist? What's it called? Not narcissist. He's not involved in himself. But he's an egotistical psychopath. He has no care for other people's feelings. Very well then. Who is this person you believe Chief Cam may have helped forging the evidence? Meekins! No. It's always Meekins! No,
Lana Sky.
Lana Sky. Present. Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky, the defendant?
No, not Meekins!
I just want to see if they actually point out that fact, like, why Meekins? he didn't get anything out of it at all. I believe it's quite obvious in the light of the circumstances.
We've got 12 whole viewers
12 whole
somewhere.
woohers.
Woohers.
Woohers, hello. I believe it's quite obvious. If Emma Sky fell victim to an unfortunate series of events, who would want to help her more than her own sister, Lana? And as for Chief Gant, Gaunt is when Edgeworth talks, and Gant is when anyone else talks. And as for Chief Gant, he would also have a reason to help Lana if she asked him to. That reason, of course, is self-profit. Anything that looks like a walking Cheeto can't be trusted. I know. Oh, wait till you meet Phoenix's doppelganger.
Tigre!
El Tigre.
El Tigre. Oh.
He's gonna be.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's too true. Anyone that looks like a walking Cheeto cannot be trusted. Oh, in both real life and in fiction.
What do you mean? After the SL9 incident was resolved, Lana Sky was appointed chief prosecutor at the prosecutor's office. The person who arranged this job change was you, Chief Gant. But, how would he profit from all this? He would be able to use chief prosecutor as his puppet. Essentially, he would acquire unchecked authority over all investigations. Do you mean to tell me that despite Chief Gant's formidable appearance, he plays with puppets? Oh my... Oh, wait. You must mean puppet as in someone forced to do his bidding. Never mind. Your journey has ended. Okay, friend Geek, you have a good one. Thanks for coming, showing up.
Have a good night.
Yous.
We've got our team stream tomorrow, so if you want to come by again and see the whole team.
And Monday's Canada Day. Woo! All the
Canadians.
All right, good. Admit it, Chief. You assisted Lana Sky in forging evidence. Your motive? To appoint her as chief prosecutor so you could control her. Righto, my boy, you have quite an imagination. Let me ask you something. What? Do you have any proof of this? That I controlled Lana? For example, is Lana testifying that I've done such a thing? Lana, she's keeping quiet to protect Emma. There's no way she'd testify against Gant. I'm afraid without any proof, this all amounts to nothing more than mere conjecture.
Coward save.
Coward save. Unless that is also what happened in this incident. This incident? Which one would that be? Of course, I'm talking about the murder of Detective Bruce Goodman. The chief prosecutor has been acting strange throughout this entire trial. Almost as if someone has been controlling her. Worthy, you better watch your tongue. I wouldn't want you to get hurt. Just what do you mean? What he means, Your Honor, is that Chief Gant is involved in the murder of Detective Goodman. Not only that, but the Chief is now making Lana take the rap to cover up his involvement. What? What? What?
Rabble, 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 rabble.
Rabble, rabble, rabble.
What?
Order. I said order. Mr. Wright, you can't be serious. Huh? This is an affront to the highest ranking officer in our law enforcement agency. To accuse the chief of police of blackmail and murder? That's impossible. Your Honor, I was merely reiterating that what Mr. Edgeworth said in easier to understand language. He's just trying to pin it back on.
I was like, I didn't make the accusations.
Like,
Edgeworth
it's too
did.
late, Mr. Wright. There's no turning back for us now. It looks like he's the one who's decided to go through with this.
We double down.
Can you prove this, Mr. Wright? Coward safe.
All right, Edgeworth. We go down swinging. Ride or die. Ride or die.
There's always the dickbags in any place in society. Judge Cheeto Chief had it coming. Cheeto Chief, that's what we call him. What's the chief high-ranking? What? That the chief, a high-ranking officer of the law, is involved in this murder? Good question. Regardless of his rank or title, Chief Gant is just a man. The question is he a criminal? I believe the evidence will tell. I see. All right then. Let's see what Mr. Wright's got, and it better be good. Show us this evidence that ties Chief Gant to the murder of Detective Good.
The original knife? This one? No.
No.
That one?
Maybe. I think it is.
Is not.
This is the ID card list. Yes, the one that shows who entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. There was one ID on the list that we couldn't determine the owner of yesterday, because we remember that was the person we assumed would have done the crime, had enough time to clean up the mess, carry the body out without anyone asking any questions, right? 77777. Sorry, but there's no way you can prove that my card number. It's your number. What? How did you know that? The safe in Chief Gant's office requires a code to open. A 7-digit code. 7 digits? You don't mean... I'm afraid so, Your Honor. The code was 7777777. The same as the remaining ID card number on this list. Chief Gant, you entered the evidence room on the day of the crime! Cross counter! Order! Chief Gant, what do you have to say? Oh, look at... I've never seen Chief Gant pissed off like that. Nothing! The defense's search of my office was a violation of regulations. And I will demand Mr. Wright be punished for to the maximum extent of the law. But right now, this court demands an explanation from you about the use of this ID card. Chief Gant, so you admit it. You entered the evidence room on the day of the crime? What about it? I'm the chief police. Whether it's the evidence room or the bathroom. What's the difference? I can go anywhere I want. Tell me, when you entered the room, were you alone? I always go to the bathroom alone, as I do with the evidence room. Detective Goodman wouldn't have happened to be with you that day, would he? Oh, of course not. Why would he be? I hadn't seen him in days. You hadn't seen him in days, Chief Gant? I'm afraid you've just undone yourself. On that day, you had to have met with Chief Goodman. Or Detective Goodman. What do you mean? This trial's purpose is to determine Lana Sky's guilt. No, it isn't, Your Honor. This trial's purpose is to determine the truth. If Chief Gant met with the victim on the day of the crime, then we need to determine one thing. What transpired during the meeting? In that case, Mr. Rice, right, I'm going to have to ask for evidence. Show us proof that the victim went to meet Chief Gant on the day of the crime. I know what it is. It's his missing ID card request. Because it can only be submitted to the chief of police. And because his half-written document dated 2/21 can only be submitted to the chief of police. Bruce Goodman didn't have his ID card with him. Like, he had lost it, right? So he would have had to gone to him to get an ID card back. Like, it could have been like, oh yeah, I locked it in there. And he was like, oh yeah, sure, we go together and I'll pick it up for you, right? So he had to have met him, right? But before I do, coward save.
Coward save.
Oh, I can't coward save, shit.
No, go back. Go back.
I can't, because this is like, show us the proof.
Oh. Well, I mean, you do have a little bit of...
Yeah. Detective Goodman lost his ID card on the day of the crime. Or to be more accurately, Jake Marshall stole it. So Detective Goodman filed out a lost item report. He would have had to give that report to the chief of police. Yet you're in possession of the report, which means you can't be sure he filed it. He filed it. How do I know, you ask? Because he needed the evidence room that day. He needed to.
Because it was cleaning
Yes,
day.
to transfer the evidence out. Oh, Detective Goodman took the form to you, Chief Gant. Then, you accompanied the detective to the evidence room. I accompanied him? There's no other way the murderer and Detective Goodman could have entered the room. Ooh, it's getting pretty dicey. Hold on, let me guess what you're going to say next. I, the chief of police, murdered poor Goodman? Exactly. But wait, the chief didn't necessarily need to accompany him to the evidence room. He could have just lent him his ID card. Yes. Now that you mention it, I believe that... Sorry, but that's not possible. According to the record, your card was only used once. Yet you showed us your ID card earlier. If you had really lent it to Detective Goodman, it would have been found on his body. No! Oh! He went fucking saying! Chief Gant, you didn't.
Oops!
The murder was most likely a spur-of-the-moment crime, for no one in their right mind would choose the police department as a place to commit murder. After the murder, you contacted Lana in the prosecutor's office. Why? To dispose of Detective Goodman's body, of course. You're forgetting, Mr. Wright, that the victim's body was discovered in the prosecutor's office's parking lot. How did he manage to move it there? I was at the police department the entire day.
Well, that's why I was in your fucking trunk, Edgeworth.
Yeah. And everyone's aware that Lana stayed at the prosecutor's office after the ceremony. Oh, sorry, that was someone else. Everyone except me, it seems. Still, you're the chief of police. You could have an entire force. You have an entire police force at your disposal. Oh, so you think I just ordered an officer to do it? Hey, you take this dead body over there to prosecutor's office. I don't think so. Chief Gant, you left all the evidence we need to prove how you moved the body to the prosecutor's office. And all this time, I thought it was a useless clue just taking up space. Gonna save that really quick. The body was put in the van at the police department.
Cause
Okay,
Edgeworth
we'll
was
go through.
scared.
Yeah. How could the chief have? How could the chief have moved the body? Mr. Rat, show us this evidence. To move the victim's body, Chief can't use this. The screwdriver. So, this is my thinking. The screwdriver was given to Edgeworth, and he says you need to take this to the prosecutor's office right away. And Edgeworth's just like, fucking fine, whatever. So he took his car to there and dropped off the item, where Lana was waiting to just try to, I guess, dispose of that body somewhere, and then was caught. So Gant had put the body from the police department into Edgeworth's car, had him drive it over there, then had Lana come and basically set herself up to fail. So, or to be caught, I think.
Yes.
This is how he moved Detective Goodman's body. What's that? A screwdriver? But what does that have to do with this case? Mr. Edgeworth, think back to the day of the crime. What is this screwdriver doing here? It's here because... I was asked to go by Chief Count, no less. He told me he wanted me to keep it here in the prosecutor's office. In any case, on the day of the stabbings, I brought this back here. After the ceremony ended that day, I didn't plan to return to the prosecutor's office. But you did, because Chief Gant asked you to. You mean
You were a body
The
mule.
body was found in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. I think it's obvious what happened. The body was moved by that car. Okay, so the knife stabbing, initially,
was done in the...
was done by Lana to make it look like Edgeworth had killed him. But she got caught in the act. And then so she had to be like, yeah, I totally killed him. Well, I told him to ask to meet him here and I killed him. They're right there at that moment. Right?
Well...
So something went wrong with the plan. Lana was never meant to get caught.
She-
She was only meant to assist in the
cover-up.
In the cover-up and the frame.
Yeah.
Detective Goodman's body was carried in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. Yes, unless of course you have another explanation, Chief. Why else would you have asked Mr. Edgeworth to transport evidence from a closed case? There's only one plausible explanation. To transport the body to your accomplice, Miss Lana Skye. Order! What's going on here? Is there no room for rebuttal to the defense's outrageous accusations? Think back to the photograph Miss Starr took at the prosecutor's office. This was not a photo of the body being stuffed in the trunk to be taken away. It was exactly the opposite. It is a photo of the body being taken from the trunk. Chief Gant, please say something. I believe your time's up. My time's up. Sorry, Righto, but I'm having lunch with the District Attorney General after this. We have to get going if we're to make it in time for the early bird special. He's like, I'm out now.
Yeah.
Peace out. But the cross-examination isn't finished yet. Remember what I told you earlier? As a police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal. Weapons? Like the right to refuse to testify. I am invoking that right now. What? That is not a right to be casually invoked. There are certain risks to be considered. So you're going to just run away after all this? Run away? Don't make me laugh, Worthy. I stabbed old Goodman? That's what you're saying, right? But if you had any conclusive evidence, you would have presented it by now. Well, You think I had Lana dispose of the body? If so, then show me the proof and get it over with. I'll say it again, Mr. Wright. Damon Gant is the current chief of police. This court will not tolerate any accusations against him
Coward
without
safe.
concrete proof, which I will definitely prove the first time.
Coward save.
First time I will definitely be able to do it. Well, Mr. Wright, Your Honor, do you have any concrete proof? Proof that Chief Gant murdered Detective Goodman and made Miss Skye dispose of his body.
The original knife?
Yeah, it's the original knife. Because everything had been removed, right? Beforehand. So whom else would have been able to get those items? Because we had proven before that when Marshall got there was no evidence. Which means, had he had been, the last person that had been in the evidence room was Gant. So he most likely was the one to have taken that
All
stuff
the
out.
stuff.
Which means the only person that could have given her the knife is Gant. Do I have any concrete proof? Present the evidence. Always present. Always be presenting. I can't just let him squirm his way out of this.
ABP. Always be presenting.
I gotta keep
Always
the
be
pressure on.
pressing.
Yes, sir. I do have such evidence. Then please hurry up and present it. Just remember, it better prove Chief Gant murdered Detective Goodman beyond a shadow
There
of a
was
doubt.
one time where it was literally an all or nothing, wasn't it?
Yeah. Usually it's all or nothing. You can't fake it. Like if you do one mess up, the whole trial fucks up.
There was one time, one trial, I remember, it was all or nothing.
Yeah, it's just like you cannot fuck up. They were like, you can't press unnecessarily. You're wasting everyone's time. You need to know exactly what's happening every single time.
And that fucked me up.
It's the knife, isn't it?
I'm pretty sure it's the knife.
Because that was found in the muffler. So, what exactly is
maybe
this
not.
evidence? It's proof as to whether or not it's enough to demonstrate the chief's guilt. I'll let you be the judge. But I am
It's
the
not.
judge. Oh, right. Well, what do you think, Your Honor?
Damn it, it's not.
It's not.
Damn.
What I think, Mr. Wright, is that I'm going to be late for lunch. I guess that wasn't enough. Please, Your Honor, give me a little longer to consider. I'll say it again, Mr. Wright. Damon Gant is the current chief of police. This court will not tolerate any accusations against him without concrete proof. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any concrete proof? Proof that Chief Gant murdered Detective Goodman and made Miss Skye dispose of his body. I actually don't, do we?
We must. We must. If we don't, then we lose the trial.
Yeah, he leaves. We have to something to keep him here. Alright.
Where's Brendan when we need him?
Brandon! No, 2 years ago the halberd was removed from his behest. Murder weapon enters toolbox. No traces of victim's blood. No traces of victim's blood. No
Traces
print.
of victim bloods.
Yeah,
no prints.
Record of the prosecutor lot. Alleged dancing murder. Blood loss. 1 knife wound. Died in an hour and a
You
half.
wanna check that?
This?
Yeah.
It says February 21st, 4 p.m., 5:30 p.m. Cause of death: loss of blood from chest wound. Wound was caused by a 4.5-inch knife. A single stab wound was found. It's the badger. It's the badger. It's the badger. No, it's the badger.
Go.
The victim in the trunk. Muffler. Parking lot. Angel star after the crime. Traces of blood from Goodman and Sky. Is it the ID card? It's not a shadow of a doubt, though. Scene of the stabbing.
Take a look at that.
No. Extremely thin rubber gloves. She can't safe. Video of the security camera.
If you lose, the badger murders everyone.
You know what? Honestly, I don't think we do. I'm not sure. So if I present the knife, it doesn't have anything. It was a toolbox traces. Was it maybe? No. There's no prints on this. There's only the victim's blood. So that's nothing. Nothing here either. Nothing here either. Goodman's autopsy report says it was a wound caused by a 4.5-inch knife. This thing is what?
It doesn't give a
Doesn't
measurement.
give me measurement, so that's not important. And then found at the scene of the crime, wrapped in the defendant's muffler with a small tag attached. Nothing, no prints, just the victim's blood. Enamel shoe bears the traces of blood from Goodman and Lana Sky. It has some blood at the bottom of the shoe, but if I remember correctly, this belongs to Bruce Goodman. While he was stabbed. This is the only thing that really ties him into the murder, but
It's not a shadow.
it's not concrete. Right?
Yeah.
That doesn't help either. This doesn't help either. This doesn't help. Nothing here shouts out like you can't do it. Like this is what happened. The final
Well, I mean,
fragment.
that's a lot. There was still a lot of blood found in
The office, maybe?
No, on the floor plans.
So we know that this was a murder. There's a murder scene in there.
Yeah, we established that there was no way. Yeah, okay, we established there was. Yeah, no, we established that there was a murder there, didn't we? Because like, the amount of blood was trivial from Meekins. How do you explain all that blood?
But that doesn't. You could place Gant there at 4:20
with the key
with his key card print.
and the blood isn't the correct answer always to interrogate Meekins.
Yeah, Meekins did it. This is co-conspirator. I will give it one more shot. If I fail, I'm just gonna say no and see what happens.
Okay. What did you present?
The
Floor plan?
yeah.
No, I guess not. Damn it.
And they give you a lot of chances. Before it was like 3 chances and that's it. I'm gonna say no and see what happens.
Okay. I mean, we did pity save, so.
No, Your Honor. At present, I don't have any conclusive evidence. CRG! In that case, this court is forced to penalize you for your allegations against the chief. What? What? Here's a tip. Never gamble on what you can't afford to lose, righto. Seems that Lady Luck was on my side again today. Okay, Udgy, I'll leave the rest to you. Oh shit, he's gone.
Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah, he's gonna do the thingamajigger. I warned you earlier, Mr. Rat. This is an affront to senior officer of our nation's law enforcement agency. What? Wait, hold on. Lady Luck, maybe we should have a word with her. Okay, so we didn't have any evidence.
Shit!
Oh, shit. So the answer was, I don't have anything. Mr. Edgeworth, what do you mean? There's one lady who knows the real truth behind this trial. We haven't yet had the honor of hearing her testimony. No, Lana. A lady who knows the truth, another witness. In the absence of conclusive evidence, there is only one method of proof to his testimony.
Chief Gant has invoked.
Chief Gant has invoked his right to refuse to testify. There's still someone else, one more witness who can answer all the questions raised in this trial. Someone right in this very room. Mr. Edgeworth, who is this person? Why are you asking me, Your Honor? Have you forgotten? The defense is the one calling witnesses today. Mr. Rat, does such a witness exist? She may not be willing to tell the truth, but we can't just stop now. Yes, Your Honor. The defense calls forth Lana Skye.
Indeed.
The defendant? Miss Lana Skye? She was in the underground parking lot at 5:15 on February 21st. Her task? To dispose of the victim's body. In accordance with a certain someone's orders. Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution has no objections, Your Honor. Very well, the court will now take its final recess for the day. In 15 minutes, we will reconvene to hear the defendant's testimony. This court is now in...
Hold on.
Huh?
Oh.
Chief Gant! Chief Gant, I thought you were going to eat. Listen good, Lana. He's talking to Lana. I don't think you need me to tell you this, but if you accept Mr. Wright's claims, there will be terrible consequences.
Oh, that ain't a veiled threat.
That's right. Your sister will be found guilty for Neil Marshall's murder. This isn't good. Of course. Of course you'd never support such outrageous claims anyway, right? It's just something to think about. All right then. I've got a lunch date to meet. What an asshole. Fuck this guy.
I know, right?
Unless we can prove that he orchestrated it.
Niels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I'm thinking...
Welcome to Night Vale is like 5 years old now, isn't it? I saw that on your page, Wayward.
Okay. If there's no other further objections, this court is now in recess.
Oh, good God!
So what I'm thinking is that we can absolve Lana and we can absolve Emma from that, because what had happened, I think, is that Gant went downstairs knowing that he would go upstairs and cause a kerfuffle, so he purposely let him loose. I mean, I'm just thinking about here. He purposely let him go up there, and if that were to result in a murder, like you willingly let a murderer enter a room full of people, right? And then a fight breaks out and someone dies. It's not the fault of the people involved, because they were put in that position on purpose. You know what I mean? It's like in Saw, when someone I put him in this position, he could have gotten his way out if he did something terrible. You know, the person who does the crime in Saw, like the girl, remember, who cuts into the guy to get the key out to unlock herself, is not held accountable for the murder because she's put in a position that would force her to do it otherwise, right? So, yeah. How can Gant get away with threatening witnesses in open court? He's the chief of police. He's the chief of police. That's it.
Yeah.
And he's an egomaniac. So he's a egotistical psychopath. He just thinks he's just too good to be caught, right?
Also work of fiction.
It's also a work of fiction. Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised if shit like this happened in the real world.
Yeah. Looks like we managed to stay in the game. Yeah, thanks to your help, Edgeworth. That chief, he's something else, eh, pals? Detective Gumshoe. I'm not a detective anymore. No! Gumshoe! Oh yeah, sorry about that. Don't worry. I've already decided where to work now. At your office! Oh my god, no! No! Someone give back his job! My office? Sure! I'll take the place of that top-knotted girl you used to work with. Could he be Maya? Still, looks like we're all out of moves now.
Fuck.
Chief Gant's done it again. How is it he's always gets the upper hand?
Hire him! But no!
It's not fair that he has the right to refuse to testify. Settle down, Wright. Remember what the judge said.
But Chief, that is not a right to be casually invoked. There are certain risks to be considered.
Risks? What does he mean by that? It's simple. If a chief refuses to testify, the opposite also holds true. You mean he forfeits his right to say anything?
He forfeits his right to say anything too.
Oh, no, it's Emma.
You mean he forfeits his right to say anything too?
Emma, are you okay?
Yeah, when I came to, I was in the medical office. I've been listening to the trial from the gallery.
So she heard everything that's been going on. Emma, I'm sorry for what I said before.
No, don't be. It was the truth. You know, it's funny. I almost feel somehow relieved.
Relieved?
Yeah. Now I finally know what happened. To think that all this time, my sister was being blackmailed by that terrible man, and she did it all just to protect me.
Ever since her appointment as chief prosecutor.
She's prosecutor.
Everyone who knew her said she changed. Perhaps it was easier that way for her.
What do you mean?
What do you think I mean? To follow Chief Gant's orders. She must have shut herself up deep inside. To force herself to do anything and everything the chief told her to do. That must have been why she became so cold.
It was all my fault. It's all because I murdered Mr. Marshall.
Cheese prosecutor.
Cheeseburger. Hey, don't go blaming yourself now. If you want to blame anyone, blame society, pal.
Chief Gant may be able to fool everyone else with his forgery, but he can't fool my memory. I remember now. I knocked Mr. Marshall into that armor.
I see.
I will... Cheese prosecutors. I will acknowledge no other titles. Well, we better get back. It's time for the final act.
Cheese prosecutor Lana
Emma,
Sky.
why don't you wait here?
No, I'm going with you. I want to be there when Lana tells the truth.
Let's go, Wright. It's time to end this.
That's it. This is the last act.
Oh, this better be.
Look at this final act.
Oh my
Hopefully
good
we're
God.
gonna put away act. Here we go.
This trial has been going on for an entire month.
Rabble. I need a rabble thing for everybody in the thing. Someone's like rabble. Like in the
Oh, for the little characters?
Yeah, it's like rabble. They're like this. Now then, will the defendant, Miss Lana Sky, please take the stand?
Miss Lana Sky, you are the chief prosecutor.
Excuse me, my name is Cheese Prosecutor.
You're the chief cheese prosecutor. I'm sure you're aware of what is required of you.
But Mr. Edgeworth, you already know everything. You know all that I've done these past 2 years.
Please provide the court with your testimony, Miss Sky. And remember, you are under oath. We want to hear the truth.
Of course. The truth.
Lana, no matter what happens, I'll always be your sister.
And they say a Gant is a killer. Now we're gonna put him away. Now then, your testimony, if you will. First, tell us about your relationship with Chief Gant. Does he have a formidable penis? Is it like a duck where it's long and slender and it's just like coils up everywhere, or is it more like a baby's arm? I don't think that's really relevant to the case.
Why are you so interested in this? Why must you pursue this line of thinking?
I don't know. I have a bet going on with the other judges.
Welcome to the stream, everybody.
I just got free pizza.
Ooh,
Oh yeah!
Free pizza. Is it one of the Uber Eats?
You know, I'm just gonna do it just for you right now, because I have time to do so. Let's give it up for free
Free
pizza!
pizza!
Alright, cool.
Everything hinges on your testimony. You're the only chance we have to get Gant.
I love how the prosecutors look like they're like in the military, like generals and stuff.
Mm.
I worked. Oh,
I worked alongside Gant for years. There's no truth to this blackmail theory. I fabricated the evidence 2 years ago, all by myself. When I found the prosecutor marshal's body, I rearranged the crime scene. My only motivation was to get Dar convicted. It had nothing to do with Emma.
penis baby. No, fuck. What was it?
We were watching Boss Baby.
No, it wasn't
No?
Boss Baby. Like the actual reference to like, does it look like
A baby's arm.
is
that Deadpool? No.
It's freaking. I think it was Family Guy.
Was it?
Yeah.
Not the Austin Powers?
No,
No?
no, that's a tripod.
Okay.
Like, oh, it's huge. It's a tripod. No, that's a joke. Something about like it looking like a baby's arm. I can't remember what it was. But I can't exactly remember what movie that mentioned it. Anyway, are you sure about this testimony?
I can't bring the camera any closer. He's look at him, he's sleeping. Not only that, but he's sleeping on his ear, so it's like curled and folded, and it's adorable.
I don't know if I can pull this camera a bit closer. I wonder if I can.
Well, I don't know.
No,
No,
that's
it's at
just
its, it's at its.
tautness.
But you can zoom in.
No, it's not as effective.
Don't wake him. I know. Take a snap. Oh, that's right. We can take a snap. I can take a snap.
Just give us a break over here. We're gonna get a quick snap of George Frederick while he's sleeping, because it's like freaking adorable. I don't know if you've ever had cats or pets before, but if you see them sleeping, it's like awesome.
Oh my god. Okay.
Okay, back
Okay.
at it
I'm
again.
gonna post that in the Discord like right now.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, Your Honor, I'm confessing to the capital offense. Of course, I'm sure. But Lana, if this is true, then that means Chief Gant has nothing to do with this. That's what I've been trying to tell you from the beginning.
Please, Mr. Wright, you've got to help her. She's sacrificing herself because of me.
What if she's telling the truth?
She's not. I know my own sister. Whenever she speaks stiffly like that, she's hiding something inside.
Even Fred thought this was a long case.
I think Fred Freddles just kind of happens. I always just like, I'm like the ex-cat fathers. Like when they're in trouble, I'm like, Frederick Hoover. And like
Frederick-
George. Frederick Hoover. What was his last name? It only we give them cat last names. We should call them Frederick Hoover, like the middle name they have.
No, I think the vet gave them my name.
Do you? Oh yeah,
Yeah, 'cause-
Frederick Hoover Liu.
George Dyson.
Yeah.
Or what was it? Kenmore.
Yeah.
Because they're like vacuums to eat up food,
Yeah,
or
'cause they're-
dishwashers.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Deep down, she's really screaming inside.
Yeah, there's no time. This is no time to start there's this. This is no time to start second guessing myself. Anything left in this bad boy?
Nope.
Want to grab me some water?
Okay.
Thank you. I'm still shocked he was really trying to get my attention on Sunday. Oh yeah, well when you see them enough, even if it's a day-to-day weekly, they get pretty keen on you. Especially if you're particularly quiet. George likes quiet things. He's a big scaredy cat. So if people yell or talk or speak loudly, they're like. But like in our instance, when we talk and we yell, he knows who we are, so it doesn't matter. Imagine if you assholes hyphenated their surnames. Yeah. Kit, where's my kit skin? My kit skis. Is he awake? Oh, no, he went back to sleep. Oh, are you okay? No, it's okay. Shh. Mama's coming back soon. Just, it's okay. There you go. Go back to sleep, buddy.
Where's the other child?
Probably. He's probably under his bed. Alright.
Hush. Imagine if you assholes hyphenated their surnames. I know, right? Frederick Ghazi Azizadeh Liu Ghazi Azizadeh.
I'll give him a half name. Frederick Hoover Ghazi Azizadeh Liu. Alright. Enough cats. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. Gone to the fabrication.
Worked alongside Gant for years. You're gonna start to...
But think about it, Miss Sky. You didn't murder Detective Goodman. You told me as much yesterday in jail. Still don't get it, do you, Miss Wright? Mr. Rat.
Any testimony you cannot present in court is as useless as idle gossip. I stabbed Detective Goodman with a knife,
It's true you did.
and I fabricated the evidence 2 years ago all by myself.
Did you do so to help your sister?
Joe Dark was a serial killer. My sister almost became his last victim that day. I didn't want that incident to ruin her life.
But what she did was justifiable self-defense. She wouldn't have been charged with anything.
She was traumatized that day, all because of that creep. That's why I couldn't forgive him.
Lana!
So that's why you fabricated the evidence 2 years ago. You say you did this all by yourself?
Yes.
Would you mind telling us what you found when you arrived at the crime scene?
I put in a bean close-up.
Oh,
No, it seems I was the first person to discover the scene. The broken prosecutor award knife was stuck in the victim's body.
what?
There you go.
But Prosecutor Marshall died from an unfortunate accident.
That's only a situation you dreamed was possible. The reality is, it wasn't my sister who took the prosecutor's life. Fantasize all you want, Mr. Wright, but I'll never change this statement.
You mean Prosecutor Marshall wound up being killed by Doc?
Something like that.
If that is so, what happened to the other murder weapon? Doc was carrying a switchblade knife.
Oh, that was lying on the floor a little distance away. It was probably knocked away in the struggle.
That's not how it went down. She tried to cover up her lies with more lies.
All just to protect me.
So when you found the scene like this, what did you do? After all, this is what everything boils down to. I broke off the tip of Dark's knife and planted it inside the wound, then moved the body. You planted the tip of Dark's knife in the victim's wound? And then you moved the body? But why? Why would you do that?
You, of all people, should know, Edgeworth. You've always had a good head on your shoulders.
My head isn't that bad, but maybe I ought to ask for the sake of others. Yeah, why did she move the body? Like, what was the point?
Maybe you'll be able to ask both questions if you press it twice, but...
When you showed up on the scene, where exactly was the victim's body?
It was where you deduced it was, by Chief Gant's desk.
But the body was found by your desk. Why did you move it there?
The reason for that is simple.
My head isn't that bad. Sorry. Let's have the witness explain this more in detail. The reason Miss Sky moved the body.
One of the pizzas is actually a cookie cake! Yes! The pieces of the jar that shattered during the events threatened my plan.
Pieces of the jar? You mean...
Yes, that wretched jar you showed us earlier. In order to show that Drake committed the crime.
Did you say Drake committed the crime?
Dark!
Dark, yes I did.
Drake
Wow.
committed the crime. What a revelation!
Oh my
Holy
god!
shaw.
In order to show that Dark committed the crime.
Committed the crime.
I felt it would be more expedient to move the body.
So, when you first found the body, the jar was already...
Of course, it had already been
That's a lie.
shattered to pieces.
That's a lie.
That's not possible.
It's not possible.
If you looked at the crime scene, it would be clear right away what happened. Neil Marshall was dead, and Dark was lying unconscious. In other words, the jar must have been broken during their struggle.
I see.
What's the matter, Emma?
Apparently, the jar shattered at the time of the crime was committed.
Yeah, I had to protect the raptors. That's why Drake did it.
Yes.
We need to have like a compilation of just like dumb slip ups. That's the one, like Drake and Drake's face pops up.
But I have a feeling there's more to it than that.
There must be a contradiction here somewhere.
Anyway, I committed this fabrication completely alone.
Let's just see what happens here.
So we rearranged the crime scene. Are you sure you didn't do this to keep Emma from looking like the murderer?
How many times do I have to tell you, Mr. Wright? Emma didn't do it. Period.
Why are you so desperate? Now, are you so desperate to hide the fact? You're willing to risk the death sentence?
She's lying. She did it so I wouldn't get blamed for what happened.
In any case, as a prosecutor, what I've done is unpardonable. There is nothing I can do to make up for my actions.
Mr. Wright, my sister is lying. She's lying.
She's lying.
Looks like she's determined to protect you to the end. She insists she fabricated the evidence by herself.
There's no issue.
Could have done it alone.
I love that my head went to Nathan Drake and James went to
Do the Drake.
to Drake.
I've got to get Lana to talk more.
How the hell did that
She's
happen,
lying,
right?
and she's bound to slip up and make a contradiction.
Okay, let's see. There you go, the pieces of the jar. So I'm gonna coward save. Just in case.
Yeah, when it gets to this point, always coward save.
Let us present the juror.
The jar.
Objection! Miss Sky, I understand how you feel. You committed that crime 2 years ago to protect your sister.
You mean the forgery at the scene where Neil Marshall was murdered? Kiki, Lana, do you love me? Are you mine?
If the truth were to be exposed now, the past 2 years of your life will have been in vain. Even so, I'm compelled to bring to everyone's attention a significant contradiction within your testimony.
A contradiction in my testimony.
You testified, and I quote, "The pieces of the jar that shattered during the events threatened my plan."
That's right.
Do you have a problem with that?
It's a simple oversight, really. You see, a message was written in this jar with the victim's blood.
Yes, the prosecutor must have written it in his final moments.
Exactly so. And this is where the contradiction lies.
Oh.
In order for the victim to be able to write this message on the jar, it must not have yet been broken before he died.
Ah,
He couldn't have written Emma's name on the shattered jar! Your Honor, it would appear more information is needed in regard to this jar and its bloody message. We may be missing something critical here. Something critical? Chief Prosecutor, it seems you're in the dark as we are about the truth toward which we are headed.
what?
Just tell us exactly what you saw. We'll piece together the information to arrive to the truth.
Lana didn't kill him. Contradiction, just to save her little sister from the killer. Very well, your witness may now continue her testimony. Is it bad that you already have emote ideas? That's fine. Just drop them in
Do it.
Discord or something. Right?
It would be great.
Here and Discord. Discord preferably because it keeps.
It'll keep a record.
Just
Gotta do that Drake sing. I immediately noticed that the blood traces on...
Didn't kill him. Contradiction. Just to save her little sister from the killer. And she's whining. I immediately noticed the blood traces on the jaw. Oh, sorry.
Wrong person.
I'm
But it
frog in my throat.
But it was dark in the room, and I didn't have time to check it out. To be safe, I wiped away the blood. The fragments were so large, so I'm sure I got them all. All I could think about was wiping them clean before they were discovered.
So she's saying the jar was shattered, but the name was on it, so she wiped them. Oh, yeah. You mean you were the one who wiped away the message in blood?
I wasn't chief prosecutor at the time.
She didn't think Dark was a real murderer. That's why she tried to erase the real evidence.
Very well, the defense may now begin its cross-examination. Let's press everything. So the jar was already broken. It's a
It's a
miracle.
miracle that thing hadn't broken earlier.
It certainly looks like certainly looks as feeble as the defense's case. Oh, come on! Not as feeble as the judge's judgment.
You're an ace detective who never missed a detail. Do you really expect us to believe you did not investigate what was written on those jar pieces?
Normally, I would have. It was dark, I didn't have time.
Dark. So you didn't know your sister's name was written on the jar?
No. If I had known, I would have gathered all the pieces and ground them to dust.
Well, that helps my case.
Lana, you'd do that for me?
It seems you two might make up yet.
Anyway, I just barely had enough time to move the body as it was.
If someone happened upon the scene, you'd lose your chance to erase the evidence.
It must have been a hurry.
You must have been in a hurry.
I was. I knew I had to destroy the evidence before anyone came.
This is rather shocking.
Wiped away the blood.
I'm afraid that action of yours reveals what really happened.
What do you mean?
If you really thought Dark killed Prosecutor Marshall, you wouldn't have wiped away the blood.
What else could I have done in that situation?
Lana,
I only had a few moments. There wasn't enough time for me to do anything else but gather up the pieces.
That's also a lie. Because there weren't all the pieces.
But how could you have seen with the power out? It should have been pitch black in that office.
A detective is always prepared, Mr. Wright. Even now, I always carry a pocket light and a camera with me.
even I carry a bottle of emergency luminol wherever I go.
I never miss anything.
That's
I
a
got
lie.
every last piece.
Yeah.
Wiping them before they were
Yeah, I'm just
discovered.
going to finish this first.
So you illegally rearranged the crime scene?
Yes. I don't have an excuse for my actions.
I'm so sorry, Lana. I didn't know. I've treated you so badly all this time.
It's not too late. There's still plenty of time to make up. After we've gotten to the bottom of this incident.
No doubt this day will leave a permanent stain on the history of the prosecutor's office.
More contradictions have surfaced in her testimony.
Your sister's really putting up a fight. She must really care about you. Still, this is not she's not doing this the right way. I think I finally figured out the contradictions in her testimony. There's one final possibility that might turn everything around.
Safe. Don't hate me. Present
What does it say?
the jar.
Final fragment found in Chief Gant's safe.
Yeah. Objection, coward safe.
Always coward safe.
Miss Sky, I believe this jar conceals a truth even you were unaware of.
What?
We found the final piece of this jar in Chief Gant's safe.
In the chief's safe? But how?
I knew. She really didn't know. There's something even more disturbing about that final piece. There was still blood on it.
Ah, so that means someone got there before she did. But the witness just testified that she gathered every last piece and wiped the blood off.
Yes, which leaves us with only one explanation. On the night Prosecutor Marshall was murdered, you were not the first one to show up on the scene. Chief Gant got there before you.
So I think Gant lied about going downstairs. He went with him, and then during the kerfuffle, shit happened. And then in his mind, as soon as the thing happened, his mind was just like, I can use this to my advantage, right? Instead of like, I should probably put this guy away. But couldn't the defendant have simply missed a piece? I'm afraid that's unlikely. The pieces are too big for anyone to miss, let alone an ace detective. That may well be, but everyone makes mistakes. Even I once wasted an entire day looking for my dentures. They were in my mouth all along.
God.
Ha! Can you believe that?
Have you forgotten, Your Honor? When this witness arrived at the scene, the jaw was already broken.
Oh, that.
There's no way a name could have been written on a shattered jaw. Another person discovered the scene prior to the witness.
I hope you're not implying this person was Chief Gant. At the time, he was looking for Doc downstairs. Besides,
The question is, if he did arrive there first, why did he hide the fact for 2 years?
at Gant, what the fuck? Why the fuck you lying?
Yeah.
Well, Your Honor, can you answer us that?
And now everyone's like, even the judge is like, no! The judge is like desperately trying to protect Gant, and he's just like, you're not on trial here, man. You're not burdened with the proof of with the burden
Wait,
of proof.
yeah.
Yeah. Wait, I'm not on trial here.
Damon Gant arrived to the crime scene prior to the witness. He proceeded to break the jaw and purposefully hid one of those broken pieces. Question: what is this action called? Fabrication of evidence.
But why would Chief Gant do that?
In light of what happened afterwards, isn't it clear?
What happened afterwards?
Discovering the scene, Lana Skye believed her sister Emma killed the victim. Determined to help her sister, she sought Gant's aid. Lending her his aid, Gant helped her create evidence that incriminated Doc. Sparing Emma, and therein lies the reason. The reason why Miss Skye became the chief's puppet.
Ooh, she bit right into her thumb.
No, I did it on my own.
Please, sis, stop trying to protect the chief. I can't watch you suffer any more than for my sake.
No, you didn't. It wasn't you, Emma. You didn't kill anyone. Don't believe anything Mr. Wright says. Defense attorneys make up the most foul lies to defend their clients.
Foul lies? Imagine that coming from my own client.
Oh.
I guess you do seem to be the type who likes to twist the
Oh,
truth.
come on.
Really? Fuck you.
Wait a minute. What if we're still smack dab in the middle of Gant's trap?
Is something wrong, Mr. Rat?
Lana may be right after all. What do you mean, right?
So you do tell foul lies then, Mr. Wright?
Shoto, a fucking minute.
Miss Skye, please testify once more.
But
If evidence was fabricated behind your back, then Emma's accidental killing of Prosecutor Marshall might also be a lie.
Oh, it's true.
But I do remember knocking over Mr. Marshall.
Miss Skye, if you will,
I can't.
there's nothing to be afraid of anymore. This cross-examination may not change a thing. However, there is a possibility that it will, if you tell the truth.
Very well. I will testify about what I really saw.
All right, the witness may testify once more for the final time.
Choto.
A
A fucking minute.
Sue me fucking Masen? Sue me, excuse me?
Sumi excuse me. Choto a minute. When I arrived, I found Mr. Marshall's body impaled on that suit of armor sword. Emma and Dark were lying unconscious on the floor nearby. When I saw what happened, I thought she did it. That's why I erased all the evidence that linked her to the murder. I had Chief Gant help me remove the body from the sword and carry it. But if it was really a fabrication, Emma might be innocent.
So Chief Gant was there, someone was there before. Set it up to make it look like Emma had done it. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. The body was impaled on the armored sword?
You were the only one who saw that. If only you had proof.
She does. She carries a camera every time with her. She has proof.
Actually, I do have proof. I gave it to Mr. Wright just this morning.
Oh, it's in the book! What, to me?
It's a picture I took of the crime scene as I encountered it. I thought it might be needed.
But I don't remember receiving a picture like that.
Lana must have known. See, Mr. Wright, she really does have faith in you.
It's in the book.
It's in the book.
Yeah. Very well, Mr. Rat. Please present us this picture. I don't remember receiving any pictures from Lana.
Lana said she gave it to you this morning, right?
I seem to remember getting something from her then.
Then let's check our evidence again. There must be a picture in there somewhere.
Yep, the evidence book.
Check.
Look at this! Oh, look, he's so cute! He's so cute! I'm sorry.
Beal.
Oh, there it
Oh,
is.
there it is. Oof!
Oof. Hey, there's a picture in here.
Oof!
There's a piece cut out of his...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so yeah, someone was here before. So this is the crime scene as she saw it. Someone went in, cut her handprint out.
That was Emma's handprint.
Handprint. Beforehand. And not when she got there, right?
This is the actual crime scene. No other detective saw the crime scene like this. Because I contact criminal affairs only after I had rearranged everything.
Mr. Wright! That piece cut out from his vest. Could that be?
The cloth we found inside Chief Gant's safe. What's this? Nani? This is a handprint, isn't it?
This is a handprint, isn't it? Yeah. That cloth. It had fingerprints on it. Whose fingerprints are those? Are must be the real murderer.
What? But those fingerprints, they're yours, Emma.
Why are your lips turning all purple, Mr. Wright?
Anyway, let us get on with this cross-examination. So long as you tell the truth, we should be able to flush out the real
Nanny
murderer.
the fuck!
So, there's like 8 fucking twists in this goddamn trial. Oh my god. Very well, the defense may now begin its cross-examination.
So, I think what it could be is the exact opposite. Everyone thinks that the handprint came before. But what it could have been was Gant was just like, I need to fabricate some evidence and some blackmail material. Put it away. Because everyone was like done, like knocked out. So he could have just gone around like making whatever he wanted, right? And technically Gant always wears gloves. So he could have done everything he wanted to do and not left any prints, right? This is the thing he does. Oh, what the fuck? It's
Gant.
fucking Gant, isn't it? Motherfucker! Come now, Ajit! This is the poorest excuse for a trial I've ever seen. Chief Gant. Now what? Like what? Now you want to make me out as a bad guy too? If so, I'd like to put in a word or two in my defense. I'm afraid it's too late for that. What? You already declined to testify. That means you forfeited your right to make statements of any sort. Oh shit, that's right. This must be that risk we were talking about earlier. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the sound of the noose tightening around your neck. Nice. Yeah, that's right, bitch! Get some. Ah, so what, you think I'm worried? Sorry to disappoint you, but I don't need to make any statements. What do you mean? The evidence will do all the talking for me. Even if I can't testify, I can still present evidence. Yes, that is true. Wait, you mean you still have some conclusive evidence? No, I don't, but someone else does. Someone? So, what's your excuse, righto? Why have you been keeping quiet about it? You do have something to show us, right? Something that proves who knocked over Neil Marshall, causing his death. Conclusive evidence that leaves no room for doubt. Is that true, Mr. Rat? It is true. I do. See, so the evidence he put in with the other evidence is basically,
Blackmail material.
it's not it's blackmail material. Also, it's a safety. If someone opens it and takes both pieces, thinking that they're all real evidence, you have to present both as the same evidence, right? You can only come to that conclusion. So he simply used one to negate, to reinforce the other, in case someone did break into his safe. I showed that piece of evidence. Emma's sure to be made out as a murderer.
Mr. Wright, do you have any more evidence? Present it now. And if you try to conceal anything, you will be the one appearing before the Board of Inquiries.
What do I do now? I better think of this through carefully. I can't afford to make the wrong decision.
I'll definitely make the right decision.
On the one that shows who really killed Prosecutor Marshall. I can show that evidence. Yes, Your Honor. I do have further evidence.
All right, time's finally come to show it to them. Those prints have got to be the chief's.
Now let's see this conclusive evidence. The evidence that shows who actually murdered Prosecutor Marshall.
Well, comes that piece of cloth.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have to do it. It's a piece of leather cloth.
Yes, it's most likely was cut from the victim's chest near his chest. Vest near his chest. What is this? There's a big handprint on it.
Surely it must have been left on the cloth by whoever shoved the victim into the soul. What? Those fingerprints? Whose fingerprints are on this? I'm sure Raito has checked, haven't you? Well, whose are they?
Ooh. They're Miss Sky's. Miss Emma Sky's.
What? They're mine? So I really did do it.
See, I told you it was conclusive.
But this was found in your safe. That means it's possible you forged it.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't remember any cloth in my safe. Do you really expect me to believe that?
But give it up, Mr. Wright. It's over. You shouldn't have presented that. By presenting that evidence, you tie Emma Sky to Neil Marshall's death. No.
Oh, did we do something wrong?
It appears we have found our killer.
No! No!
Did we do it wrong?
Everything hinged on that point. In the end, Lana was alone and found guilty on all counts.
Fuck!
No!
Oh my god! No! 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 I gotta no! No! No!
Oh shit, you know what?
What?
If I held it back,
Uh-huh.
What he'd have to do is be like, I know it's there. It's like, how do you know? Because it was in my safe. And you're like, boom, gotcha, right? But if I presented it willfully, saying, yes, I found that, and he said, well, it's not mine, because it was never in my safe. I don't remember anything being in my safe, right? But if he pulled it in himself, then he'd have caught himself in a booby trap.
Shit, okay. Coward save!
Thank you, coward save. I mean,
Woo!
this never happened. Should I present that piece of evidence? Hell no! This is gonna be a gentleman's dab. Your Honor, I don't have any evidence I can present at the point in time because you don't know if it actually pertains to the what's it called, the case. So you could be like, I don't know. Whatever.
I didn't see any relevance.
I don't
to
see
it.
relevancy. What? You lie! Chief Gant? You opened my safe. I know you took what was inside. There you go. The conclusive evidence.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Mr. Wright, why don't you show them? We found it together.
Oh, I see. It's because you know the truth, don't you? You know whose fingerprints are on it, and that's why you won't present it.
What are you talking about, Chief Gant?
Can't you figure it out? Take a good look at this picture. See the victim's vest? Notice anything odd about the chest area? It looks like a part of it's been cut out for some reason.
You mean you had this in your safe?
What? That means you, the chief of police, have been concealing evidence. This is going to be the biggest scandal in the history of the police department. Rabble, 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 rabble. Oh, there you go. Yeah, we caught him.
Impressive.
To be honest, I didn't think you had it in. To be honest, I didn't think you had the gall, Raito. Well, I can't just let you pin me up as the murderer. I'll tell you what really happened. What? You mean you admit to it? Oh, now he can't. He's not allowed to testify anymore.
I was the first person to arrive at the crime scene that day. It then occurred to me that I could use the situation to control Lana.
So you really were manipulating her.
I knew Lana. If I made it look like the blame lay with her sister, that when she saw the scene she would ask me for my aid. So you assisted Miss Sky. I told her to arrange all the evidence. I had her plant the knife tip in the victim's body and move it across the room. And I ended up using the evidence to get Joe Dock convicted. Then I tampered with the crime scene. I had 2 pieces of evidence. This was before Lana arrived at the murder, mind you. 2 pieces of evidence? You mean those items in your safe? But why? For insurance. Of course. Insurance. I was sure my plan would work, but it's always best to prepare for the worst. I wasn't about to let anyone blame me for a murder that girl committed. You mean you were calculating that far ahead while forging the evidence? What do you take me for, a fool? I didn't make police chief by dumb luck. See this jar fragment? I hid the most legible part of Emma's name. I didn't expect Lana to go and wipe the blood off the other pieces. But if you fabricated all the evidence, what's to say you didn't fabricate the message on this jar too? Ho! Some people just don't know when to quit, do they? That's why I kept one more item for insurance. You mean that piece of cloth? Calm down, righto. Cough it up already. I know you have it. What are you waiting for, Mr. Wright? Sorry.
What are you waiting for, Mr. Wright?
So you admit to it, Chief Gann, that you were hiding the cloth you cut off in the victim's vest in your safe. Yes, I admit it. I didn't want to have to do that, being chief and all, but it's a lot better than being portrayed as a murderer. Well, Mr. Rat, what do you have to say for yourself? Just a moment ago, you said you didn't have any evidence you could present. Foolish move, righto. You should have known it then, before it was too late. I'm sorry, you should have shown it then, before it was too late. It's been a long battle, but the moment of truth has finally arrived. As long as I don't mess up here, victory is oh, damn it!
Coward save!
Coward
Save! Victory is mine!
So if I show the evidence now, we have proof that he did hide it. We have proof that he tampered with it. We have proof that he was blackmailing. So this all pertains to the case. If I hold it back now, it is crucial evidence that he said that basically makes us here, right? So I'm thinking, like, if I withhold it, what do I get? Do we have him force it out of me? Basically, like, yeah, I did it like right during this time, and I did it like after the fact, and then we can basically put a timeline to it. Because if he says he did it when he got there, that makes sense, right? But if we did it after he got there, or after he had killed a person, you know what I mean? You know what? I'm just gonna go with my gut feeling and say can't show. Oh fuck! No, that was wrong. Right. Think hard of the circumstances. Circumstances. I'm talking about then and now. There's one major difference between the two. There we go. Whatever. I'll take the punishment.
It's your only chance. At least it wasn't a.
Oh, one. Yeah, all or nothing. Yeah. No, we can provide that evidence. Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut this piece of the victim's vest. Okay, so now we have the time. Oh yes! At last you finally brought it out into the open. There's a handprint on this piece of cloth. Your Honor, the prosecution requested that be immediately sent to the lab for analysis. This handprint on the leather, there must have been a strong impact for it to be left so clearly. You mean, it could not have been forged. It must be authentic, conclusive evidence. Okay, fuck, now we're fucking up now. Ho-ho! You're as slow on the uptake as ever, Worthy. What? Oh, he thinks it's his prints. I think that's why. Think about it. Whiteo had all this time to present his evidence, yet was reluctant to do so. Why would that be? You mean you already know? You know whose fingerprints are on that.
Mr. Wright, do you really know?
Whoever the fingerprints belong to must be the real murderer. Whose fingerprints are they? technically, yeah, we shouldn't be taking. Technically, he's working off the evidence that has been being produced. He's not testifying to anything. So he's simply adding a story to the evidence to make it worth to be like whatever, you know, applicable to the court. So there's a bit of a loophole. Very well, I'll tell you. It should be okay now. Everything's proceeding as predicted. The person to whom these fingerprints belong to is Meekins!
Always Meekins.
Meekins! I'm sorry, no, it's not. It's yeah, no point in lying. It's Lana. Or sorry, it's
It's Emma.
Emma Sky.
What? They're mine?
I'm sorry, Emma.
But why? Why didn't you tell me?
You're really something, righto. You knew this girl did it all along, and yet you still tried to pin the murder on me. So it is true. Tragic, but true. This girl really did shove Prosecutor Marshall to his death. It's always Meekins!
How could you? You monster!
Miss Sky.
You knew those fingerprints were there all along, yet you acted like she really didn't.
Miss Sky, it's not over yet.
What?
I said this trial isn't over yet. Ha! But I'm afraid it is over, boy. Not only this trial, but your career too. You purposely concealed this conclusive evidence? That, my friend, is a serious offense. I'm looking forward to pressing charges after the defendant is convicted. I'll have your badge, boy! What's the matter? Cat got your tongue? Aren't you going to tell us how it feels? How it feels to be the one who single-handedly turned a poor little girl into a murderer? Phoenix is just like, Jean-Claude Van Damme. Before I do that, there's just one little thing I have to clear up. Oh? And what's that? Who really killed Prosecutor Neil Marshall? What? Chief Gant, you're absolutely right. This piece of cloth proves who the real murderer is. Who killed Neil Marshall, you asked? It was Emma Sky, wasn't it? I'm afraid that's not possible. You see, this piece of cloth contains a critical contradiction.
There's no blood on it.
There's no blood, yeah. What? A contradiction? What is this fool babbling about?
Wait, no.
I'm talking about a
Yes.
contradiction. One that proves who the real killer is. Yeah, there's no blood
There's
on
no
it.
blood on it.
If he was stabbed and died, the blood would have drained onto his vest and onto that piece. If you look at the photo, that cut is out and the blood has dripped over the vest into the space, which means it couldn't have been done after he had been killed. It means Gant probably saw him, was like, cool, he's knocked out, handprint to like, because it's convenient, right? It's Emma Sky and what's his face? Neil, right? And then and then basically what had happened was he put the handprint on the vest, because it's super easy to have like
Yeah.
someone's hand while they're there, stamp it, cut it out, pocket it, take the body and just push it
Shove
onto
it.
the body and kill him immediately. And then the evidence that's forged is the Emma Sky jar, right? That jar was probably the reason that knocked all of them, like, a few of them out. It fell, struck, shattered. He wrote down the name on Emma Sky's.
No, it did not shatter.
Oh, it didn't shatter. Yeah, he wrote the name on, shattered
shattered
it,
it.
took the piece's insurance, took the second piece of secondary insurance, and put it in the safe. Or else it was Meekins. It was all Meekins. No, I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. This piece of cloth. What could it possibly contradict? Chief Gant, your tyrannical reign ends here. Behold, the piece of evidence that contradicts this cloth.
The photo.
The photo. And what exactly is this? What exactly is this supposed to be? This is the picture Miss Sky took. Take a good look at it. See where the piece of the vest was cut out? Yes, his shirt is showing underneath. It's hard to make out with all the blood on his vest, though. Exactly my point. His chest is soaked with blood. That's only natural. His lungs no doubt were punctured, blood pouring out of his mouth. Oh, well, this piece of cloth. Spotless, yeah. Wait, there's no blood on it. Ugh. Since Emma Sky's fingerprint are on this cloth, there's no doubt she shoved the prosecutor aside. However,
Mr. Marshall was not impaled on the sword at that time. No, this is nonsense. Now then, Chief Gant, let me ask you something. Prosecutor Marshall was not impaled when he was shoved aside. He most likely hit his head on the ground and was knocked out. If so, then tell me, who could it have been? Who could have arrived at the scene before Miss Lana Skye? Picked up the unconscious prosecutor and impaled him on the armor's sword. Then to make it look like Emma was responsible for the prosecutor's death, said person proceeded to write her name on the jar with the victim's blood. A jar that they then broke on purpose to leave behind as a clue. And made Lana believe her sister did it. Oh, we got him!
Oh.
Remember what you admitted only moments ago? That you personally cut out this bloodless piece of victim's vest? Ironic, isn't it? Through the very act of creating insurance, you prove that you were the actual murderer. No! It's finally all over. Invested. Get
So
it? Invested right
goddamn
now.
invested.
Well, don't. No! That was close, Righto. You almost had me. Sorry, but you'll have to do better than that. I refute your allegations. What do you mean you refute his allegations? You see, that piece of cloth is illegal evidence. It is not illegal evidence. You put it in. You put it in with rule number 2. Order. What nonsense is this? Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a suspect. Remember Aji? Earlier, old Righto here concealed that piece of cloth. I didn't conceal. I just didn't feel. So then, what's your excuse, Righto? You do have some conclusive evidence, don't you? I don't have any evidence that I can present. I didn't say I didn't have evidence. I said I couldn't present them
At this time.
at this time. Because one, it had to, okay, number one, Chief of Police had to accept the fact that it's there. Number 2, it has to be relevant to the case. And we were able to prove the second, the relevancy in the case.
He proved the second himself.
Yeah.
He proved
Well, that's
relevancy himself.
The defense did refuse to present evidence. At that moment, that piece of cloth ceased to be legal evidence. No, it was never legal evidence to begin with.
But that's not fair.
Ho! Did you actually think you could best me in court? It looks like the last laugh's on you, son! Son? I should give him a black man voice. A more ghetto voice. I'm afraid Mr. Gant's claim is legally correct. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, true, illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a person, assuming, of course, that evidence is indeed illegal. Mr. Rat? I got this. It seems at last. The time for me to reveal my plan has finally arrived. Mr. Rat, do you admit it? Did you purposely and illegally conceal this piece of evidence? I did not.
I did not.
I did not. Oh, hi, Cart. Oh, hi, Mark. Huh. I admit to I refused to present it at one point. So the evidence is illegal. Objection! No, it isn't, Mr. Gant. Huh? It's not that I didn't present evidence then. It's that I couldn't. What do you mean you couldn't? There are certain procedures involved in presenting evidence. No, Watchy, don't listen to his lies! He's nothing but a coward! You can't really believe! There's only one issue left to be resolved in this trial. Is the evidence legal or not? Very well, let us settle this once and for all. Earlier you refused to present the evidence. If you can prove your conduct was not in violation of the law, then do so now. Boom!
Evidence, law, bitches.
This is my proof, Your Honor. Evidence, law. What's this? I've done my homework too, Chief. Indeed, Emma Skye's fingerprints were on this piece of cloth. However, at that point in time, this was merely a piece of cloth, nothing more. What? You see, it's written right here in this book. The second rule of evidence law. Rule number 1. No evidence shall be shown in court without the approval of the police department. I found this piece of evidence myself, inside your safe. It goes without saying I did not have the approval from the police department. Rule number 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. Do I have to meet both rules? Is that it?
No, one
One or the other.
yeah.
And here's the crux of the matter. You see, at the time, it was impossible for me to prove its relevance between the cloth and the SL9 incident. What? What kind of nonsense is this? You want relevancy? Just take one look at this picture and... Sorry, but can you recall when was that picture presented? Well, that was shown only a few moments ago. No. He's right. At the beginning of today's trial, a piece of cloth was still meaningless. That person who gave it value as evidence was you, Damon Gant. You yourself confessed to a certain truth. Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut out this piece of the victim's vest. Oh yes! No! It was then you approved this cloth as conclusive evidence. Yes, you, the chief of police, personally approved this cloth. The only person who could have cut this from the victim's vest is the one who stood before Prosecutor Marshall in his final moments. In other words, the real murderer. And there's only one person that could it be. Damon Gant! The killer was you! Okay, that took a lot.
That's a... Take a drink.
Man, it hurts. It's like 11:51. I don't know what the hell my neighbors are thinking right now. Is this roommate soundproof?
Oh, good God. Pretty sure the window's open as well.
Yeah, that's gonna be a clip for the ages. I knew I should have gotten rid of him. That good-for-nothing scum. 2 years he's been snooping around the department trying to get something on me. Crimes are being committed every day, yet he insisted on hounding me. Well, your crime wasn't exactly petty.
Your maniacal laugh is amazing.
He wanted to reinvestigate the case. He recruited Angel Starr, then convinced Bruce Goodman. Detective Goodman? Yeah, that's right.
If the evidence is transferred, I'll lose my only chance to find out the truth. Please, you gotta help me.
Goodman turned him down, as he ought to. Still, Jake Marshall didn't know when to quit. He stole Goodman's ID card and tried to take the evidence. Goodman came to me that day. He wanted to file a lost item report. I went with him to the evidence room, and all of a sudden he decided to speak out. Ah, so he confronted him in the evidence room knowing that there would be cameras, right? What are you talking about, Goodman? Can you please... Oh, this is Goodman's voice. Can you please reopen the investigation, Chief? Can't transfer the evidence out. There's too many questions left unanswered. Ah, so this is what happened. He opened his evidence locker. And as he was taking the evidence out, he said, "It's not too late. I'm gonna hand all this over to Marshall." Well, to be honest, I was a bit taken aback by his words. I had a bad feeling when he came to see me, but I never thought he'd bring up SL9. That's when I saw it. That accursed knife. I couldn't just pull it out. Doing so would have only led to more blood, making it near impossible to hide your crime. Even so, the blood was just pouring out. I didn't know who might stumble in, so I hurried to wipe it up. I was worried so much about the floor, I didn't realize my fatal mistake. The bloody handprint on Detective Gumshoe's locker. I used to be known as the crime computer. But everyone has to start somewhere. I guess I was too nervous. I had no business doing any of that. Then you put the body in my car. I'm sorry, I couldn't think of any other way to move the body. I broke your trunk, but what's the big deal? You make a lot more. You make a lot more than us detectives will ever will. That's his excuse. Like, sorry, I broke your car. You get paid a lot. No, you tried to frame me for murder. Like, what the hell? Or no, you got me mixed up in murder, right? The point wasn't that he wanted to frame Edgeworth. The point was he needed a way to get the body out. Leaving the prosecution's
matter
car
who he
aside, how could you get Miss Skye involved in all this? Well, she had as much to lose as I did if the truth came out. So you took the evidence from Detective Goodman's locker. I felt bad for having to do it. I also didn't have the time to pick and choose what to take. So, you left the jar fragments in the glove. Yes. It looks like I was better off being an investigator of crimes than a committer. They all did their best to get in my way. I'm going to hand it to them. They do their jobs well, much to my dismay. Fake evidence doesn't hold up very well upon close examination. You must have known that. Tell me, Worthy, why do you stand in court? Me? You despise criminals. I can feel it. You and me were the same. One day you'll understand. Oh, believe me, you will. You're just one man. You'll see what it really takes to bring them down once you try to do it alone. Well, looks like it's time to say goodbye. Oh, Ajay. What? Looks like we'll have to, cancel that lunch date. Sorry, old friend. I'm sorry too, Damon Gant. I knew you as you used to be long ago. You were once a fine investigator and an example to others on the force. Sorry to learn that you are no longer that person. Those days are long gone now, Archie. Thanks for all the memories, though. Don't worry, you'll be fine. Now you have Righto here, and Worthy. With these two around, you can't go wrong. In fact, I can hear them already. The melodious sound of a new beginning.
Melodious.
I know, melodious. There are two things I want you to understand.
Yes.
First, your sister never hurt anyone. Second, Damon Gant betrayed you from the beginning. You see, Miss Skye, you no longer have any reason to keep silent.
You're right. When this trial is over, I'll tell everything. All that I've done these past 2 years. From the time I had Gant help me forge evidence up until today.
So, it seems all the questions raised in this trial have been answered. I'm sorry, Miss Skye, I couldn't get you out of all your trouble.
My. What high standards you have for a rookie.
I'm sure, laughing like a troll, I'm sure it all makes sense context-wise. Yeah, it does.
I can see why Mia thought so highly of you. Who knows? A few years from now, you just might make it to the top. Aw, she smiled!
Oh, she smiled!
I owe
She's
you my
changed,
thanks,
she's let go of
Mr.
the
Wright.
mask now. Miss Skye.
And to you too, Mr. Edgeworth.
I was like, what?
You've suffered every bit as much as I have over these past few days. Believe me, I know how much of an ordeal it's been for you.
It was, nothing.
Blush, blush, blush.
Yeah, liar.
I was worried the pressure might break you. And yet, you rose above it all and guided Mr. Wright to victory. You've done well, Mr. Edgeworth.
Oh, look at that smile.
Oh.
Stop it. I only did my job. In light of this case, it seems a good self-examining is in order for all of us. Miss Skye,
Yes, Your Honor.
you are innocent of murder. However, although the chief blackmailed you, the fact is you still acted as his accomplice. A trial will be scheduled for these crimes at a later date.
Yes, I understand, Your Honor.
Is there something amusing about all this? Why are you smiling?
It's been a long time, Your Honor. A long time since I felt free of these heavy chains. Aww.
Very well. This trial's gone on far too long already. Agreed. Regarding the charge of murder, this court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Skye, say it together, not guilty.
Betty! Oh, good God.
That is all. This court is adjourned.
Finally.
Oh my God, finally.
Holy crap. Oh.
At long last, it's finally over. Emma? Why the long face? I'm sorry your sister didn't get completely off the hook, but at least she wasn't convicted for murder she didn't commit.
No, that's not it. Just now, after the trial ended.
I can see why Mia Fey thought so highly of you. I owe you many thanks, Mr. Wright.
That smile.
And to you too, Mr. Edgeworth. You suffered every bit as much as I have over these past few days. You've done well.
Look at that smile.
You know, I did my best too, but Lana didn't say a single word to me.
She wanted praise. Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Oh, fucking gumshoe. Guess I am. I'll go back later.
Oh!
Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? You're doing this on purpose, aren't you? Making a detective run around while on duty. On top of it all, you call me here? I've seen happier people at funerals. Oh, he's did the same thing before. Hey, lighten up, pals. Only kidding.
Oh, are you here because of my sister again?
Nope, not this time. I came today because of you, pal.
Me?
That's right. I thought you'd like to see someone. Oh, it's gonna be her sister.
Yeah. Lana!
Should you be doing this? She's still under arrest, you know. Well, I won't tell if you won't.
Emma, I owe you an apology.
It's okay, sis. Don't worry about it.
That day 2 years ago was the first time in my life I ever panicked. It was all I could do to keep myself from screaming. All I could think about was keeping you from getting wrapped up in that mess.
Sis,
I asked Aunt to help me cover up the truth. I thought I was doing it for your sake. But now, I realize I was wrong. I changed after that day. I had to. It was the only way I could make it through the past 2 years. I knew how much I was hurting you by distancing myself. But I couldn't bring myself to tell you what I did. I was scared. Scared that you'd look at me with those eyes of yours. I was scared of how you'd react if you knew.
but sis, you were only doing it for me.
No.
Huh?
I turned my back on you that day. In hiding what I believed to be the truth, I was deceiving you.
Sis,
I'm such a fool. It took me all this time to realize it. Emma, I'm so sorry.
but sis, you don't have to apologize. I'm happy now.
You're happy?
Of course. You know, sis, I always knew that one day you'd come back. And now you have.
Oh, I gotta find that.
Oh, Emma.
I'm gonna find that.
Emma.
And every time someone puts in like a sub or something, oh, look at the love. Look! Every time I look, no one can change the past. The only thing we can do is strive to make up for our mistakes. Why must we make up for our mistakes, you ask? Because in doing so, we can find the way back to our rightful path. And it's from there that we can move on toward a brighter future. At least, that's what I felt watching these two sisters make up.
Mr. Wright, Mr. Gumshoe,
Me?
thank you both for all you've done. I'm sure we'll meet again someday. Isn't that right, Edgeworth?
Okay, first of all, I understand that is a Terminator reference, but I don't think it's quite what it means here. Edgeworth?
Stop hiding and come over here.
Look at him with his scowly face.
Where was he hiding? I just came to say, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth.
Right. Well, I'll be going now.
Oh, he's so tsundere. Mr. Edgeworth, I hope you don't blame yourself for what happened. We were the ones who acted corruptly, not you.
It's too late for me.
He's
No matter
so
what-
dramatic.
No matter what.
Well, it's true. We don't see him in any other games after this, do we?
No, we do.
No, different prosecutors.
I mean, next game, but like we do see him again.
Yeah, but he's not a prosecutor in his Edgeworth game. He's actually become a defense attorney, doesn't he? He becomes a defense attorney in his own game. Yeah, I think. Anyway,
No matter what anyone else might say, I realized today that I can't correct my mistakes.
Mr. Edgeworth.
Not only that, but I don't even trust myself anymore. Chief Gant was right.
you despise criminals. I can feel it. You and me, we're the same. One day you'll understand. Oh, believe me, you will. You're just one man. You'll see what it really takes. Well, you'll see what it really takes to bring them down once you try and go it alone.
I do despise criminals. I plan to dedicate dedicate my entire life to fighting them. But in order to fight crime on my own, I need a weapon. It's scary, but I've known that to be true for quite some time now. But Edgeworth, who knows? Given enough time, I might even have tried to pull something like the Chief. No, who knows? Given enough time, I might have tried to pull something like what Chief Gant did. That thought terrifies me. That's why I can't continue as a prosecutor.
She's a megane.
Megane Koneo. Edgeworth, don't you understand? Tim and Gant and your mentor, Manfred von Karma, were both the best of the best when it came to fighting crime, but they both made the same mistake. You said in order to fight crime on my own, I'd need a weapon. That may be true, but think back to today's trial. You weren't alone.
Oh.
You are working together with Mr. Wright, and because of that partnership, you are able to present evidence that otherwise would have gone undiscovered. Isn't that right, Mr. Wright?
Huh? What? Oh, yeah. What is this, a pop quiz?
Come on, Mr. Wright. Show him what Lana's talking about.
Evidence, huh? Something that neither Edgeworth nor I would have been able to find on our own. What was it? The evidence list. His half, my half, right?
I think so.
That's the picture I drew.
Our counterattack began with this. You had one half of the evidence list, and I had the other. Apart, we wouldn't have been able to completely restore Emma's picture.
That didn't just happen by chance, Mr. Edgeworth.
His little face.
It's time for me to go.
Running away from my problems.
Yeah, I'm uncomfortable with emotional situations. I need to leave.
Mr. Edgeworth.
If you'll excuse me, there are still some loose ends that need wrapping up. Take care, Chief Prosecutor.
Cheese prosecutor.
Chief Cheese Prosecutor.
Edgeworth, what will you do now?
Well, whatever you do, just remember, you can let what happened kill the prosecutor in you, or you can let it help you grow. In the end, it's up to you. I know. It seems I owe you my thanks too, right? But what I face now is my problem. Edgeworth, I'll be waiting for you in court. Farewell.
Oh.
Oh. He's so fucking dramatic. I'd better be going too.
Okay, but I'll be by to visit soon.
It seems we both have a lot to learn and catching up to do. Here, this is a little something for you.
Oh, it's a cute little... it's like
scientific investigation.
It's Law Duck.
Oh,
He's a law chick.
scientific investigation.
It's the first book I ever bought. Study it well.
Thanks, sis, I will.
No kiss. I like Lana and Emma. They're siblings.
I think they're talking about.
I know.
I know.
Edgeworth and Phoenix. Trust me, there's plenty of that around on the internet. You don't have to worry. And so another case came to a close. As for the sisters, I have faith.
Aww.
Faith that their lives have only just begun.
I forget if Lana ever gets mentioned again.
And as for me, I think it's time I started on a new journey on my own. A journey to rediscover myself. Sexually. Sorry.
Carnally.
Oh, well, don't go trekking off just yet, pal. Huh? What is it, detective? There's just a little matter to be resolved about the chief prosecutor. You see, she isn't supposed to be out of jail like this.
But
I thought you said it was okay. Yeah, well, maybe... Well, it may be okay with me, but the folks in the prison are a different story. Huh? Basically, I had to bribe a guard in order to sneak her out for 30 minutes. Believe me, it wasn't cheap either. Oh my god, I have to pay the bribe? Huh?
way to go, detective. I didn't know you had a wild side.
Yeah, well, you see, Mr. Wright here is the one who's been Mr. Wright here is the one who'll be footing the bill. Huh? What? What? You think I can afford it with my salary? You gotta be kidding me, pal. Huh? What? Huh?
Thank you, Mr. Wright. You're the best.
Why is it I suddenly feel like I wanted to scream? Hey, I got an idea. Why don't we all go to pay it off together?
Yeah, that's a great idea. Come on, guys. Let's go.
I don't have that kind
I
of.
don't have money. Oh, okay, thank you so much for joining us today. That was the that
are
actually
finally
was
here.
full episode, full like stream time plus then some. I did not know it was that expensive. Oh, here it is.
I arranged for a friend of mine in Europe to take care of Emma. I hope she'll be pleased to study under a top coroner. As for me, this affair has pretty much ended my days as the prosecutor's office. Still, I managed to find my way back into the field somehow. Then I'll be able to investigate crimes together with Emma.
Okay, so she might switch to forensic evidence. Takashi Yamazaki. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us. We'll try to fill in whenever something pops up. But yeah, thank you for joining us. I hope you really like it. Next stream, we'll start in case of the second game. Yikes! I thought it was a goner for a moment there. In the end, though, they overlooked my unauthorized investigation of the chief's office. If we penalize you for any more, it'd be worse than firing you. Yep, that's what they said.
Yeah,
It just goes to show, you can't shake me off that easily.
the Wright and Edgeworth ship is a good
Oh
ship.
yeah, it is a strong ship. Yeah. So next time will be Justice for All. Trials, Tribulations.
Justice for all. Last one is Trials and Tribulations.
Yeah, Justice for All. Next game after that is Trials and Tribulations. Then Apollo Justice. But I don't think Apollo Justice is out on. Oh, it's Meekins.
Oh, it's Meekins. My new mission is to guard this main entrance and take care of Billy. Can you believe it? I've been demoted to a security guard. My partner's keeping an eye on the entrance for me today. I'll show him, though. Someday I'm gonna make a detective. Yes, sir. Then I can be just like Dick Gumshoe, sir.
Aww. Meekins. He did it! Look at him! It's a murder! No. This is not the last time we see Meekins again, is it?
No, I think he shows up again.
Yeah, Meekins keeps showing up.
Ugh.
Oh, Lord. And I know what you're thinking. Does the Blue Badger keep showing up? Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes, he does.
Oh,
He shows up
yes.
a lot.
He gets so popular that they
Everyone thinks, oh my, oh no! Oh.
they put him in more games purposely because he got so popular.
Everyone in everyone in the game himself believes that it's a garbage mascot, like pure garbage. But
Yeah.
everybody on this side of things are like, we love it, and they're just like, fine. Then explicitly gets popular. Oh hey, what's this? Can't you see I'm having me a showdown with a steak lunch partner? Miss Star managed to sneak this in to me. Well,
Take this in me.
yeah. Well, cowboy, it looks like you even gave Bambina back her smile. Can you make sure Billy and the gang get their water? Who's Billy? Oh, Billy's the plant.
The cactus.
Yeah.
He looks like a scribble knot. Burn the badger.
Well, to be fair, it's probably the same mechanics because it's on 3DS, right? Oh, here you go.
Looks like we won't be seeing each other for a while. As a farewell gift, I put a new meal on the menu. The top layer tastes as bitter as defeat, but the bottom layer is as sweet as victory. Kid seems to dig the turnabout theme. It's a hot seller around exam time, just to make sure not to eat it backwards.
Yeah. You think May can get saucy? Joyce knows how to get saucy.
Just lean into that skid.
I love like even when she like flips her hair, like that's a perfect time to go like take that sensual breath. Oh, I'll never forget what that young defense lawyer said after the trial. Let's see, what was his name again? Mr. Left?
Oh God.
Anyway, he said he's been doing something for how many years? Well, anyway, I've got another trial to get to, so I'd better be, huh? Oh no, I forgot my gavel. Sorry, I gotta go. He forgot his gavel.
My God.
Oh God, what? This judge is so inept.
How is he still sitting on the
I
bench?
don't know.
Woo, bro.
Brown Global Solutions.
Bonus Global Solutions. Thank you for the
Patrick Riley,
translations.
Steve Anderson.
My God. A+ translations.
These are all part of the translations, Dan. Yukimoto, Alexander Smith, Philip Saldini. Oh, hey, it's mine.
It's mine. Nothing soothes the soul like fresh country air. Still, sometimes I do miss hearing your objection. Still, I can't go back until I'm a full-fledged spirit medium. Mystic Maya, afternoon training's about to begin. Coming. Well, see you around, Nick.
Oh, you get to find out who.
Oh, they even hinted to what the place is called. The bus stop says Kurai. Did she mention that she was from Kurai?
Kurain. Yeah, Kurai.
By name? Or did
Kurain. Yeah.
She always said that, oh, like, I'm from some other place, but she never said where, right?
No, I think she did.
I don't think she ever mentioned it in this one.
It's the Korean channeling technique.
Yeah, Kurai like a clan, not a place, right? But then you verify later it is a place as well. Oh, hell.
His fucking office.
Yeah. Mr. Edgeworth? Oh, Mr. Edgeworth? Oh, Mr. Edgeworth. I brought you your tea. Huh? What's going on? Oh, he's probably giving him a
Oh,
slap.
his fucking dramatic.
Sir. Because he wanted to be an actor first, right? Then he became a bellboy or something?
Thanks for coming to see me off. I can't believe I'm going to Europe. Thank you, Mr. Wright. Thank you so much for everything. I'm a little sad, but I'll be all right. Whenever I want to see Lana, all I have to do is open this book.
Oh, she's so cute.
Oh, what's the book?
Look at that duck butt. Rotate.
Pio.
Peel.
Oh?
Ah.
Oh! That's so fucking cute! Fuck me, mate! Oh!
Oh my God! That's what she made detective.
They're so cute.
Oh, they're
That's
so
cute.
That's so cute. Oh, you're so cute too, Frederick. You're so cute. Oh my God. Damn, girl.
And here we are at the
officially
end of
finished.
Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. Yeah, Ace Attorney Phoenix Wright. This is the end of the first game.
End of the first game.
So everyone thinks it's called Phoenix Wright something. It's not. It's called Ace Attorney
Ace
Phoenix
Attorney.
Wright.
Yeah.
And then Ace Attorney Justice for All, Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations, Ace Attorney Apollo Justice. So, yeah, that's a common misconception. Everyone thinks, oh, Phoenix Wright. And like, no. Phoenix
It's
Wright is
Ace
a
Attorney.
character. It's called
Yeah.
Ace Attorney. Or Gyakuten Saiban.
Gyakuten
It's called Turnabout Courts. So yeah, thank you so much for joining us again. I hope you really liked it. For those of you in the future who are watching this, my throat is killing me right now for that laugh. So good lord. But yeah, see us tomorrow. It's Canada Day this weekend, so I think a lot of us can be able to stay a little later than usual on the Sunday. But yeah, so we won't be too much pressed for time. So yeah, remember to come back tomorrow to see the entire squad play the game. What else are we talking about today? Yeah. So for big thank you for Wayward for all those gift subs. I'm sure they appreciate it. Remember, if you are sub,
The Twitter list, the Twitter poll.
yeah, make sure you want Twitter poll. I'm sorry.
So right now we have a Twitter poll for all of our beautiful people that are
For anybody
subscribers.
who's interested in subscribing or subscribed already.
Yeah, and want to subscribe. We are finally working on getting our
Subscriber badges.
subscriber badges up. And we want to take a poll on what kind of badges you would like to see. Currently, the suggestions...
Thank you, Lancer.
there we go. That's the one. Yeah. It's, some kind of cats, some kind of badges, some kind of shields.
Yeah, so there's,
Yeah.
how many days do we have left in this bad boy? 1 day left.
One day left. Poll ends July 1st, so we got... Actually, 1 day or 2 days? 7 days?
Today, so that'll be all of today, and then
All
on
of
Sunday.
tomorrow. And I don't know if it ends at midnight or on July 1st, but we'll find out. Keep voting till the day time runs out.
Yeah, and then remember to share it out with your friends or something if you're interested. We'd like to see more people in the chat, and it's becoming a really lovely group. I'm really
Yeah.
happy to see our kind of like our fan base growing and our community. I won't throw community because we really don't do anything to culture it. our groups
Team
join
East
together.
Coast time zone.
Yeah, keeping together, which is really weird. All you on the East Coast still watching us because it's supposed to be bloody freaking late out there, and I'm sorry.
I know. Holy crap, man.
In the future, if we were like super rich on like the Twitch revenue, we could all quit our jobs and be like, yeah, full-time Twitch, full-time streamers, whatever.
Good God, can you imagine the Twitch revenue that could support 5
Yeah,
people?
Like even on like Ninja levels, like would not support us. Like,
God.
because Ninja, like when you get to a point, you have to survive more on kind of like sponsorship, not like directly from views, which is something that you used to be able to do, but you no longer can. But
Dare to
you know what?
dream.
We didn't go into this hoping we'd be rich in a day. We did this because we wanted to play games, and we wanted to have fun together, and that's what we're doing. And hopefully y'all are motivated to go find friends and play with friends too. I know internet is now a thing, and everyone does multiplayer across wide distances, and that's cool. But don't forget, hanging around with chums is always great as well. So again, yeah, meet us in tomorrow for a team stream. We're playing Tales of Symphonia, so
It's gonna be fantastic chaos.
yeah, we'll go through that. And maybe in the future we'll think about doing another Pokemon Nuzlocke, because that's always fun. Yeah, so without further ado, thank you so much for joining us again. My name is Rashi,
And I'm Joyce.
and we will see you next time. Bye!
Bye.